hitting or pushing, getting 10 members, or, you know, doing really crazy things in videos.
Yeah.
Which is awful, and I want to talk to him about that. But like, I wonder if even he would say like the Suicide Force thing's next level and like almost not human to do that.
I do believe that Jake does think that. I don't think he's a totally awful person. I think he's somebody that has reached this level of fame and he doesn't want to lose it. I think the whole thing with being popular for a lot of people on YouTube, for especially a lot of newer creators, you need to remove morals, because with the website becoming so saturated, there are certain things, if you don't have popularity from 4 years ago and you're on 1,000 subscribers now and you're running to 1 million subs in a year, you've got to do something crazy.
Please don't, Jake! Shit! Oh my god!
That's happened so many times with them.
Yeah. I mean, it is something that's scary. It's even a bigger picture topic, which is what I want to ask is like, is there a bunch of YouTubers who might be sociopaths or psychopaths or have an issue? Because like, I've even seen in the news, like, there was this guy who wanted to be famous on YouTube, so he had his wife shoot him. I don't know if you saw that. It was crazy.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
I almost feel like maybe talking about this stuff might help the audience realize like, oh, I shouldn't be supporting this.
Oh my god. Oh.
I shouldn't have done it.
Or a water bottle. I think I'm having an allergic reaction. Oh.
That fucking hurts, bro. Like literally my face is burned. F you, Heavy. You're supposed to miss me, bro.
What? You gotta have them reflexes.
Like if somebody posts a video called like, I just blew up my neighbor's car. It's tempting, but maybe don't click on it, because if you click on it, that shows that person make more.
No, you won't.
I didn't think he was gonna do it.
Because I'm surprised that Jake or Logan isn't dead.
I can't rule out like dying. Why am I laughing?
I am gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Because the shit that they've done, lighting things on fire, doing crazy shit, like...
And basically if you have acetone, you can light stuff on fire. Yeah, that'll work. Oh god, it's already in flames. Oh my god. Oh, whoa. How did that even happen?
I'm shocked that none of them have had any legal repercussions.
Yo, it's always lit at the Team 10 house, cuz.
So I know they have strongest laws possible, but...
And I'm trying to stay overnight in the White House.
What? A lot of people all over the government that were very concerned about what appeared that happened on your video. What we're going to need to do...
So people like me and you, we see that at face value and think, that's crazy, that's absolutely crazy. But to them, it's just another day in their life, and that's... I can't really comprehend that.
Hi, I'm about to do something really stupid.
Good luck.
If I die in front of some little gangsters, dope.
I really can't. I can't imagine waking up every morning and thinking, what am I going to do today that gets me 10 million views? What limit am I going to push?
Except, you know what?
We're not normal.
The pulse.
Yeah.
The pulse. Let's go.
The Secret Service is at our house right now. This is not a joke. What does this mean, though?
It means that you're getting great vlog material.
Well, going into my interview with him, I want to make sure I hit every point, because I don't want people to feel like, you know, he manipulated me or we missed something. Yeah. What do you think is like the main thing people are going to want him to respond to or talk about and like not bullshit about? Like, what do you think a successful interview would be?
Is it all fake? Is his personality not what it is in real life? Because it's something I've wondered.
I'm just living in the real world and you're living in a fake one.
A lot of people are exaggerated personalities on YouTube, and I want to know how exaggerated it is with Jake, because for all we know, he could be a completely different person. I've seen it with Rice Gum. Is Jake Paul on YouTube different to Jake Paul in real life? And that's really what I personally want to know, and I think a lot of other people want to know that, because there has been a lot of controversy, but the real controversy to me is he who he says he is?
And that's the sociopath question, because if he is genuinely a sociopath, like a lot of people think, then Jake Paul is a character and it's a mask, and like the real person none of us have seen, which is like one of the scariest things ever.
So I was watching a few of his older videos for the first time earlier, and he seemed so different. And this is why the question of is he a sociopath, I really am not sure, because in it he seemed to be caring, not just about himself, but about, it was weird things he was caring about towards his car. He spoke about his truck in it. He was talking about, just in general, a lot of things he cared about. He seemed nice, he seemed genuinely happy, and to have real emotions. When I watched that, I thought, this is a real person.
Super excited because later we're going to Halloween Horror Night. It's like one of the biggest haunted houses. And I want you guys to laugh with me. I want you guys to be sad with me. I want you to like come along with my life. So we're almost at the book signing and I'm getting kind of nervous. I'm gonna be meeting people. What if no one comes?
A year later, when Team 10 was fully formed, he was big on YouTube, completely different. So this is like the question of where is it real comes in. And I don't think it is, purely based on that. Because for him to be so different in a year period, maybe he thought, I need to be controversial to get big. To get big on this platform, to take it by hands, I need to do something big, I need to change the game.
And he was probably like, I need to be like my brother.
Yeah, because his brother has been doing controversial things for a long time. People seem to not realize that. This is what it seems to be with Jake, a never-ending follow of his brother.
Okay, y'all know where to get the merch. LoganPaul.com/shop or link in description.
Guys, cop yourself some of the hottest merch in the game.
And it's always seemed to be they've been chasing each other constantly. And I've always wondered, is it a case of they're just competing with each other like I compete with my friends in sports?
Your views are going down, bro. Something needs to change.
Yo, yours were down too for the other day. Oh, what happened?
Or is it a case of genuine emotional distress and anger with each other that they're not, one's more popular than the other?
Stop
your vlog up.
Well, I will fake you out with your ex-girlfriend again.
Our relationship, in my eyes, is bipolar. I'm always trying to be the best brother and support him. Logan, on the other hand, is the opposite. He is always wanting to kick me or punch me or push me down so that he can always be one-upping me.
It's been since we were kids, like growing up, like through high school.
You go and make videos with my ex-girlfriend, like you need to stop, dude. Like it's not cool as a brother. Like I would never do that to you. I don't think any brother would do that I know of.
Yeah.
It's deep.
Yeah. Wow. This is like, this is really hard for me because all I want to do is make something with a happy ending. It's like all I ever want to do, and I know going into this, that's probably not possible.
I think if I was to give odds on a happy ending, I'd say like 10%. If people see this with Jake and they see he isn't who he is, are people going to want that? Because if I was 10 and I found out my favourite, my hero, the guy I look up to, the person I aspire to be was fake, I'd feel a bit betrayed, honestly, because you see somebody who you love is fake, and nobody likes fakeness.
Oh my god, so it's like, it literally is a lose-lose. If he apologizes and is honest and talks about everything and like, is like, I'm gonna change, then his current audiences will be mad. If he doesn't do that, then the rest of the internet will still hate him.
YouTube's such a weird thing, and I don't get it sometimes. A lot of people aren't open for change.
Is there anybody I should interview first, like from his past?
Ooh.
That would be good?
Honestly, I think Nick Crompton would be perfect, because he's known Jake from start to finish. He knows he left because he didn't like it the way it was going, so maybe there were things we don't know about. There definitely is things we don't know about, but big things. He knows all about the controversy. There's so much there. He was in Team 10 for the whole time. He was the manager, he was in charge of the business, so he'll know all about contracts, he'll know if they're paying, because it's something which no one's spoken about. No one's asked these people, and I think Nick would be the perfect guy to ask.
And he's literally the only one who I know and whose number I have. Oh my god. Okay, I guess I'll reach out to Nick Crompton. Oh my god. I feel like this is gonna get darker than I'm expecting, and
Oh, hey Alyssa, what's up? Time to see which brother you know better.
Which brother has the higher IQ?
Are you serious?
This is my advice when someone dies.
It's gonna be okay. Oh, you need a ride home.
So what is next? What can we look forward to from you?
There's a lot going on.
Wow. I can't believe this person exists.
It's weird.
Okay, well, I'll keep you posted.
It's nice speaking to you, man.
Bye.
That's it. Good luck.
Thank you. This is gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah.
I guess I'll call Nick. Oh my god.
Like TanaCon, for instance, with you felt such remorse. Yeah. You were like, oh my god, people were outside, this is terrible, I feel terrible, I'm gonna find a way to reimburse people. Someone who fit this would be like, nah, whatever. Fuck them. That would be their whole mentality.
part 2 of The Mind of Jake Paul. Now, today's episode, I sit down with therapist Katie Morton to talk about the psychology of Jake Paul. And we also talk about my issues and the fact that I probably need more therapy. So that's why I'm excited to once again say that today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. This is something I really think is great, something I actually really believe in. So BetterHelp is a service and an app where you can get affordable and private online counseling whenever you want. Like I've said before, going to a therapist office or sitting down with a counselor can be kind of intimidating and a little scary, which is why I love this, because you can just be on your phone, you don't have to go in anywhere, and you can just set up your appointment. You can message them when you want to talk. It's just really easy and it's great. So you'll fill out a questionnaire and then they'll match you to a counselor. And then you can get started getting counseling on your computer or your smartphone or your tablet. That being said, if you're in a crisis or you're in danger, this is not the site to use. I will put all those links in the description as well. So if you want to check it out, I'll put the link right at the top of the description below. It's betterhelp.com/Shane. All right, enjoy part 2 of The Mind of Jake Paul. Good luck.
Tessa is asleep right now, and we are going to do the buried alive prank. The buried alive prank is where you go into someone's room while they're sleeping, you put a ton of blankets over them. It's like a lot of weight and like pressure, and they feel like they're in a coffin, and you play an ambulance noise, and then you start to talk like, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, she's gonna make it through it, she's gonna make it through it, and then they freak out. All right, so let's see what happens. Shh, shh. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
What the heck? That was so scary! Jake!
You couldn't breathe?
No.
Makes it more real. Yeah, she was so scared. She didn't even like. Are you mad at me? Don't be mad at me. You're alive. Okay.
Okay, our Uber is here. Bye, Gino. Wish me luck. Okay, I love you.
Bye. Good luck. Thank you. Find out if we're all psychopaths.
Today I want to talk to you about the word psychopath, so stay tuned.
What do you think?
I think that there's got to be some reason why somebody can be as, I don't know what the word is, outgoing, negatively outgoing as him.
I love you. I love you.
Whatever it is, probably runs in the family because his brother.
Right.
But Logan, I feel like, is more likable. Right? Like, not as many people hate him. Do you know who Jake Paul is? Yeah. No? Doing like a little documentary thing about whether or not he's a sociopath.
Oh yeah, I heard you talking about it, yeah.
Have you met any sociopaths?
I meet a lot of people, but I don't know if I met a sociopath. Yeah, how do you tell somebody's a sociopath? What are the symptoms?
Well, from what I've read, they're instantly likable, but they don't have real emotions, and everything they do is kind of an act, and they just want to manipulate people.
My wife. Yes, I never know, but I thought it's the opposite. Somebody that's unlikable, not likable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
You don't follow? I guess it would make sense that you don't follow him. Why would you follow him? Oh, that is literally the most haunting thing I've ever seen in my life.
So this is his girlfriend, right? Erica. I know that.
Yeah, Jerica's their shit name, I guess.
That has to be fake. Like, that is the most fake relationship, right?
It doesn't look real.
Oh, he likes animals, so that's good. Or is he pretending to like animals?
Who's that with him?
Justin Roberts. That's Justin Roberts. I mean, whoever Justin Roberts is, he has his own private plane. I have so many questions.
Seriously.
They have a giraffe? Is that for real?
What is that?
Do they actually have a giraffe?
I don't think so.
What's up, buddy? Yo, say hi to the Jake Paulers.
Maybe.
Am I gonna meet a giraffe?
Weird.
I mean, this picture, that looks like two fucking straight up sociopaths planning their next move. Right. Oh, the caption. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna be famous, dude. Good morning, New York! Accept me, love me!
What is wrong with you? I could have died.
I'm doing good, right? Do I keep on going?
Thank you so much.
I was almost gonna say, like, is there anything that she could tell you that would make you not want to do this anymore?
What do you mean?
Like if she says, well, when it comes to this type of person, or when it comes to this disorder, you don't want to X, Y, Z. You even think about that? I mean, you don't really know much about him or this thing that you're claiming he might have, so it's like, if somebody tells you something about him, or if somebody tells you something about this potential disorder, maybe you might...
Yeah, I mean, oh, I think that's your... Oh.
You guys want anything to drink?
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
We've got,
Oh, I was just saying, I feel like I'm about to get on a roller coaster right now. Well, I'll explain later what this all is. There's a lot more to it than just like, originally we were going to talk about YouTubers.
Yeah.
And if you have to be kind of a sociopath to be a YouTuber.
Honestly, are you a sociopath?
I don't know.
We all know David's a psychopath.
This is a surprise.
Exactly.
I'm also not a sociopath.
Type of, personality. It kind of led into a weird direction, which we'll get into later.
Let's do the thing!
Before we do that, sociopaths.
yes.
You know, you came on my podcast, and you were very clued in. Like, you knew that I had struggled with an eating disorder.
I look in the mirror and I see a huge person.
What is body dysmorphic disorder, and how do we know if we have it?
You knew by even looking at me. You're very intuitive about all that. So that's why I wanted to talk to you about this, because I feel like if anybody could tell me what to look for, it would be you. Because I feel like, do you spot them?
You can feel them. I don't know if you can really spot them.
I hated that. Oh my god. Okay, what do you mean you can feel them?
It's like you said, roller coaster. That's the perfect way to set it up, because it's almost like when you're around people like this, it's if you sense what I sense, I guess, about them, it's like a pit in your stomach. Like it's that feeling, but just from them being around.
Ooh. Okay. So besides the feeling, what are the characteristics, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to it. A lot of it is just the main thing that people talk about is like they have no empathy. And I think that's a hard thing for people to actually fully understand, because most of us don't have this issue. So we feel for other people.
Yeah.
And we feel all day. I feel pissed off. I feel excited. I feel disappointed, whatever. They don't have any of that. For instance, the other day I was in my car and I'm driving, and there's this little old lady that started to get into the crosswalk, and I was like, honey, you got like 12 seconds. I'm worried. I hope people wait for you and like pay attention.
Right.
You know, a sociopath would just be like, ugh, Like it wouldn't worry. There's no worry for her. They don't have any empathy for the situation for her. They wouldn't, if someone kicked a dog and they saw it, they wouldn't feel anything for it. They just have no empathy. And I know I'm talking about like bad things, but also good things. Like they just don't, like imagine if you lived in a world in your brain where anything that happened to other people, you didn't really care about it at all. You didn't care how they felt. You didn't care what happened to them, as long as it didn't affect you.
The moments many feared would be their last.
Ooh. That is terrifying.
Yeah, that's hence the, like, ugh, that feeling. Like, ugh.
Is that a mental disorder? What is it?
Technically speaking, a lot of like clinicians like myself would call it antisocial personality disorder.
Hey everyone, it's Iris, and I am going to talk to you about antisocial personality disorder, which is my diagnosis.
So what are like the bullet points, for example, like in a book, what would it say?
Sociopaths believe that like the law doesn't apply to them and like the rules don't apply to them. They're like above it and they're so important to everybody else that like they'll get away with it, like nobody will care.
I think you should know, while we were shooting the episode, I got arrested. Okay.
We're getting pulled over.
Oh my god.
He made me put my hands on the dashboard. Why? Am I threatening?
Did you have your ID, ma'am?
I have a warrant out for my arrest, and he just pulled us over and let us all go.
So they always just think they're better, bigger, more important than everybody else. Like, for instance, failure to conform to social norms with respect to lawful behavior. So they're usually like
getting into fights.
She ended up starting a full-on fight with Nikki.
Stealing.
After stealing a tube of lip gloss, Megan Fox went on a crime spree at her local Walmart.
And it could go as far as murder.
Simpson arrested for the murder of his wife Nicole and her friend Ron Goldman.
But then deceitfulness, indicated by repeating lying, using aliases, conning others. So using anything they can to get their needs met. People aren't people, they're just tools to be used in their life for their game, whatever it is.
Okay. So like to a sociopath, the world is a chess game.
Yes.
And all the pieces are people.
And they don't care about them, there's no empathy for them. Remember that. They're just tools. Can I use that to help me get what I want? So, for instance, people who would have antisocial personality disorder would be extremely rude to any help people. So they tend to be like really quick and like angry and irritable and like push them off.
So like, for example, if it was a YouTuber, they would probably be rude to fans. No, because they want something.
They give them something, yeah. Because the main two things that they usually want is power and money.
And I'm gonna be the biggest entertainer on the planet.
I wanna be the first social media billionaire.
So with fans comes power and money.
Buy that merch, buy that merch.
So they'd probably be actually really nice to their fans.
I wouldn't doubt you doing it, man.
I'm going to. Spend $100, free shipping, y'all.
He's awesome.
But if a fan died or a fan was hurt, they wouldn't care.
Not really. But if it meant that they could make a video about it and get more views and get more fans.
Jake Paul, there's, I don't know how to say this, but like, we lost.
Huh? Isn't that creepy? it's so creepy.
Okay.
It's like, we're gonna have to take a shower after this.
Yeah.
Then they also are impulsive. So failure to plan ahead. They'll want to do things and then not do things on a whim. Which is what makes them a little dangerous. I always think impulsive is like a dangerous thing. For both them and the people around them, you know?
That sounds like someone we know. But, well, but they don't have emotions, so like they wouldn't cry.
They might if they thought it made them fit in or like get what they want, because they're deceitful.
Okay. So sociopaths, so they don't have emotions. Do they pretend to have emotions?
Yes, because they'll mimic to fit in to get what they want. You and I aren't going to respond well to someone just asking us for something. We'd have to feel emotionally involved in some way in order to do something that maybe we normally wouldn't do. So in order to get people to be the tools that they need, they'll mimic behavior that they know will elicit the response they want.
Okay. So they're pretending to laugh, they're pretending to cry. Are they just like kind of mimicking what they've seen in like movies?
Yeah, movies, other people around them. If they, like, let's say, for instance, we're talking about YouTube. So if they're watching a ton of YouTube videos and they would see how other people responded, they might even read the comments to see how people react to that kind of a video. And then they'd mimic that in order to let's say someone was super successful and they did story time videos, for instance. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying if they saw that someone was doing this, they're like, oh, they got so many views, and like the people in the comments really feel for them. And then maybe they'll buy more merch or whatever, right? Power, money. Then they'll be like, oh, I could do that too. I can mimic that.
Until I see you guys next time, stay gorgeous.
So they learn like what gets people ahead, what type of behaviors, what type of emotional responses get what they want.
Now, for example, like, not to, I don't want to say this person's a sociopath because I don't know, but like Logan Paul, for example, the dead body thing was, bad.
Oh my God, he's hanging. Bro.
But to me, the weirdest part of it was when he was talking about it in the video and talking about suicide prevention. There was like a really loud, sad song playing the whole time. It was
like I said earlier, suicide, mental illnesses, depression.
To me, it was like, oh, this is sad. I'll put a sad song. So, not saying he's a sociopath, but like that's something that a sociopath would do, right? Be like,
Totally.
oh.
Yeah, because that would be like mimicking behavior. We have to think of like, because that would make it feel, it elicit the response maybe he's wanting.
Suicide is not the answer. Literally, guys, what I preach every day is being a maverick. Like, it's okay to be different. It's okay to be unique. In fact, I encourage you to do that. If you're not a part of the Low Gang, make sure to subscribe.
Again, not saying he's necessarily a sociopath, but like, that would be what sad music. I mean, we all know even on YouTube, and it'll say like sad. It like kind of tells you what the music is.
Yeah.
You pick it according to that.
That's crazy.
Wait.
If somebody didn't know like how to be emotionally, they would just go to the audio library and like literally click the emotion.
Just pick the emotion that they want people to feel.
Do they not know? Like, would they, if a YouTuber is a sociopath and they're making an apology video.
And I first want to apologize to my brother.
So they just type in sad and they pick one?
I in no way meant to like hurt his feelings.
Would they not know what a sad song was?
They might know it just because of society. Think about like radio DJs will be like, oh, here's a sad song about a lost lover. I mean, I don't know. So they probably learned, but I think what they don't have knowledge of is what it is to experience that emotion.
Oh, wow. When a sociopath cries, do other people not feel anything? Because I've been around some people who have cried in front of me, and not like in a video or anything, just in real life, and I'm like, why do I not feel anything? I don't feel anything right now. Is that a sign?
So as you can see, I got a tear to come out.
Because if they're mimicking, they are honing their craft, kind of. So if they're not very good at it, they won't elicit the right response out of you.
Her fans are not having it.
Because they're not really that good at doing it.
Everyone says that the sociopath is such a great actor, but when we take pictures of people, they're caught off guard. They don't have time to put the mask on. So the eyes look dead, and they have this creepy, weird, fake smile, or their eyes will be dead, but then the mouth will do this.
It's just off. Something's off.
Okay. What's next?
We're only halfway through, okay.
Oh my god.
Irritability and aggressiveness is indicated by repeated physical fights or assaults.
As this is not the first time she's been caught on video throwing a shoe in a fight.
Like they'll fly off the handle.
Oh shit, okay.
Especially if someone tries to discredit them or put them down in some way, this will be like a knee-jerk response.
Bitch, she got her ass whooped by a fucking 13-year-old.
Like they'll want to fight people or they'll want to be aggressive. And I honestly believe that in females, this might be a little bit different, where it would be more of a manipulation component to hurt them emotionally. Or maybe like girls would like shout, scream, and like try to embarrass them in some way.
I'll get your ass deported!
Then next is reckless disregard for the safety of self or others. So they don't really care what happens to them, because again, like remember, they don't have any empathy, they don't have any feeling, they don't have feelings like we do in the same way, so they really don't care if something bad happens.
You do not care about what happens to you at all.
As his lawyer spoke to the press, Simpson goofed around, making faces like he didn't have a care in the world.
So like, okay, for example, if they were on a plane and everybody's feeling turbulence, it's like, oh, the plane's about to go down. They wouldn't even really care.
Not necessarily.
It's just like, oh, the game is over. Oh, that just gave the chills.
I like that. The game is over.
They drive fast, probably. Like do drugs, drink,
Probably.
do things that harm their
Usually.
bodies. They don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, because they don't care.
Tattoos.
Probably.
They put their friends in bad places, so that would be like...
Yeah, like think of YouTube, like if they were doing like challenges, they wouldn't care if it was like really dangerous for someone or like hurt someone.
But if we can get a trampoline and jump in the middle of traffic, that would be so fire. Let's do this.
Or like consider, not that we're saying like the Paul brothers are sociopaths at all, but like wasn't it Jake Paul that like lit a huge fire in his pool with like furniture and stuff? They could have burned the house down, or the people's home next door who could have been sleeping. Like for God's sake, they don't consider that.
A lot of people can fall into that category, putting their friends in harm without caring.
Yeah. Then we have consistent irresponsibility. They don't know what it's like to be responsible because they don't care about how that affects other people. Let's say they got kicked out of their house and that meant that all the people that live with them were kicked out too. They'd be like, whatever, I'll figure it out. Because they don't care about themselves.
Okay. Whoa.
And then this is like the worst. This is the final one. But this last one is lack of remorse. So like, let's say they're being reckless and people get hurt. They don't give any shits about it.
Okay, so for example, if the YouTuber... Try not to be too on the nose with this, but like...
If somebody got hurt during a prank or during doing something for them, they wouldn't care. They don't feel bad. TanaCon, for instance, with you felt such remorse. You were like, oh my God, people were outside. This is terrible. I feel terrible. I'm going to find a way to reimburse people. Someone who fit this would be like, nah, whatever. Fuck them. That would be their whole mentality. They might even be like they bought tickets and they were taking a risk. Like they just try to like, you know, they'd rationalize it. Like they would blame others because they try to rationalize it out to make it not their fault because they just don't really care.
Ooh, I'm feeling sick.
It's really gross. And it's just creepy. And the thing I think is hard for people who don't have this to understand is like it's hard for us to view life without emotion or without caring. And that's what they live in. That's their experience.
So they're like, it's kind of like a robotic state of living, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they're kind of like a robot.
I saw an image when I Googled it, and it said that sociopath is like, they're wearing a mask. And around certain people, they use a different one. Like around you, I'm going to be funny. Around you, I'm going to be sad. Around you, I'm going to be charming. Around you. But what's under the mask is the truth. Yeah. And that person is never seen.
No,
right?
I'd almost argue like doesn't really exist. Because they don't really know who they are. Because their whole life is spent like manipulating others and mimicking behavior to fit in. So that's why there's different masks for different people, because you'll notice if you're around someone like this when they're giving you like the heebie-jeebies.
Daddy loves her, and Daddy's gonna give her anything she wants as long as she does what Daddy tells her.
They do a lot of like, I don't know how else to describe it other than just being like a data detective. They're trying to get as much information about you as possible. The thing about YouTube is we put it out there so they can find it by just watching, if we're being honest. So they're going to be detectives, they're going to scrounge, they're going to get as much information as they can so they can create the right mask for you. So that they can manipulate to get what they want. Because people aren't people, they're tools.
If you wanted to segue into like a big picture about like YouTubers, because that's got to say something about YouTubers and YouTube in general, because that, what you just described is like, that's like a playground for people like that, right? Or,
is that, yeah, that's like, YouTube is that. It is like their playground. If they have been watching YouTubers growing up, and now they're like, oh, I'm 18, I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to use everything I learned. So do you think it is possible that a lot of YouTubers might be this?
They could be, or they could be narcissistic.
What's that? I mean, I know what it is, but not like the term.
Yeah, because narcissism is again, it's like born out of trauma usually, which kind of makes you feel bad for them a little bit, but like not that much, because they feel so fragile as a person that they put up like this wall that they're better than They need a lot of attention. They want everybody to like them. They want to control everything and everybody else, so they tend to be really manipulative as well. So there is some overlap with this, but they do actually feel things. But they manipulate in the same way.
But they have a heart.
Yes.
Do sociopaths have a heart?
I don't believe so.
Whoa, okay. Wow. In my 10 years of YouTube, I've met a lot of YouTubers. I've definitely met a few where I've got that gut feeling.
That, we're talking about like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've met a few that fit this, but I don't get that gut feeling. Are those people probably
better manipulators? Or they know enough about you?
I literally, my heart.
It's really gross, I know. So like then you might even be like friends with them because you don't know you're being manipulated.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. How realistic is it that like, what's like the statistic, I guess? Like how realistic is it for me to know one?
They say 1 in 25.
I thought it was like 1 in 10,000 or something.
They make it seem like it's a really low percentage. It's a huge percentage of the population. It's the same as like schizophrenia or other mental illnesses that we know well and we see and we hear about. But even in school, they didn't really talk enough about this because it's icky. It's the dark side, essentially.
Why am I just learning?
Yeah, seriously.
This? Why is this something that nobody talks about? 1 in 25 is like a person in your class, or a person in my family for sure, or a person in my friend group, or like 100 people on YouTube or more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's way more common. Once you kind of start paying attention to it, you can feel those people out.
So for people watching at home in their day-to-day life, what should they look for? Is it the person who's always happy? Is there like a mean characteristic? Because it's not like an evil-looking person, right?
No.
They're pretending to be nice.
Yeah, they're pretending, they're mimicking. I think in truth, it'd be someone who is really popular.
Simpson had an active social life and lots of friends.
And someone who always knows the right thing to say for some reason, no matter the situation. They're always really witty.
You know, I mean, I ordered a cake for myself. I'm not a monster.
I see. All right. So at least you had a cake.
Yeah, I'm not a sociopath.
Good. Yeah.
They're actually super intelligent, usually, because to manipulate takes a lot of intelligence. Imagine all the, like, detecting we have to do and, you know, searching for all those little bits about people that we can use to manipulate them. It takes a lot of effort. They probably have a lot of different relationships in their past. Like, they tend to bounce from friends to friends because as soon as people start to see a chink, if they're not very good at manipulating, they'll move on to another group. Like, adults move a lot. Not very far in a radius, but they'll move from like a city to another city so that the people who kind of figured out something was up aren't there anymore.
Do they have relationships?
Yeah, they do. They can even be married with kids. Whatever they think helps them fit in. Think about anything in life, owning a home, having a dog, getting married, having kids, whatever it may be. They're going to put up the best show that they can. And they're master manipulators, so they can manipulate people into thinking that they love them.
Well, you punched her a number of times.
Yeah. I fell in love with that person.
You threatened to beat the blank out of her.
That's embarrassing.
When you got home, also said you warned you were going to kill her. You don't appear like a violent person at all.
No.
In fact, you appear rather calm, rather nice.
They'll do everything someone wants, whatever they think that, like, they'll learn so much about this person. Also, we talked about YouTube being their playground, so are online dating sites. Because they can find people that way and they can learn a lot about them in their profile. And then they'll do exactly what they want them. Like, they'll be their perfect, because they always ask, like, what would be your perfect mate? They'll become that perfect mate.
Because it doesn't matter either way to them, because they're not losing anything.
Because they don't have any empathy. They don't care. It's, people are tools. So if I need to get married or I need to be in a relationship, how do I make that happen? And they'll want to move quick, too. They'll, like, get to know you, and then they'll want to be your best friend, or they'll want to start dating, or then they'll start asking you to marry them, or they'll want to move in. Like, everything moves pretty quickly. Not crazy quick, because they're manipulators, but, like, just enough that you're like, ugh, and your friends and family be like, that's really fast, and I don't know them very well. And they won't let you see much of their life either. Like, Usually they're hesitant to let people over to their house or in their bedrooms or parts of their space that they can't like completely make look a certain way.
What am I? Because, like, I feel like I attract sociopaths.
Potentially,
I'm
because
not
you're so soft.
Yeah, like I'm not calling out people. I'm not saying there's certain YouTubers who I've like done videos with or any of that. I just mean in my real life. Like,
yeah,
I feel like, but I also feel like I like get them and I want to help them and all of that.
Because you're empathic.
So an empath. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
What is
like,
that?
It's essentially like we feel for other people. Like that's the opposite. An antisocial personality disorder or a sociopath would be your antithesis, like the complete opposite. So every time you think, oh, but like that must really suck for them, they would have none of that. That doesn't exist. They might even be like, something horrific happens and they're like, what's for lunch? Like, let's move on. Because it has no energy, no feeling for them. But an empath is someone you might even like attract these people because you do feel so much. And in doing so, unfortunately, you offer up a lot of yourself. And so they'll be like, oh, I can use all of this to make this work for me.
But does that mean they don't even like me?
Possibly. I don't know if they know how to like people or love people.
Oh. See, here I go again. I'm like, that's so sad.
It is.
But is it sad? Because they don't think it's sad.
It's sad for you because it would affect you, but it doesn't affect them.
It's because I just feel sad now because I'm like, okay, if it's 1 in 25 people, that's a lot. We all know one or multiple.
Yeah.
So then it's like that person is never going to experience like the joy of like having sex for the first time or like getting your first car or like going to an amusement. They don't like. That's sad. That's like a robot.
It is sad, but they don't know any different, and they don't really care. That's the thing. There's no empathy. It always goes back to that because it's like hard to be like, oh, that must be horrible for them. And I'm sure if someone has some of the signs and symptoms but isn't fully engulfed in it, they might be really bummed and like try to fix it. But the amount of people I'd assume that fall into that category are very slim to none. Especially if we don't catch it early enough. Because it only gets worse.
What would happen if they went to therapy?
Oh God, that... Probably nothing, whatever they wanted to happen. Because they're manipulators. They're never going to tell me what's really going on or what they're worried about. They could potentially only get better at manipulating people. Because if they're given like more tools in therapy that we think are like being helpful, and you're actually, especially if it's like a couple, if you're sharing more about yourself, then you're giving them more information to utilize to manipulate you. I like to believe people can get better. That's why I do what I do, but I don't know if they can.
Could it get dangerous?
Definitely. Very much so. 15% of those in prison have antisocial personality disorder or are sociopaths.
Yeah, that was a quick reaction that she had.
So your only regret is that the torture didn't go on anymore.
Right, and I regret not killing my other victim. I should have killed him too. I just didn't have time. I had to go somewhere.
Will you kill again?
If the opportunity arises, I hope so. Okay, we're done.
Are you done?
Yeah.
All right.
Good shit, dude. That's gonna be crazy, isn't it? That's gonna be wicked. Make it look good, please.
Honestly, best wishes to you and
right.
Okay, that leads me to my final question. YouTubers. Jake Paul.
It's possible. I mean, I don't know him. That's the thing, is like people put on shows to be on YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? Personas.
Yeah.
But going back to the symptoms and signs that we just read through, like not caring if people get hurt. He's done things to people, like terrorizing members of his like team, right?
Yeah.
Like the lack of emotion in his eyes and stuff is kind of creepy. But I'd have to, I don't know, is he? I mean, is he remorseful? Does he just pretend he's remorseful? We see like videos where he says he is, but is he? I don't know.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm so sorry to the Martinez twins.
I know he's definitely impulsive, but he's also like a younger guy, you know? But I'd have to get to know him better because like we think there's empathy, but is it a show? Is it manipulation? I'd like to hear what other people in his life have to say because they know him better.
Right. Yeah.
It's definitely possible. Do you have to get a fuller picture of like how he is when the camera's not on and how like what his past girlfriends have to say? Because people who aren't in his life will have a lot better things to say than people who are, because people are technically being manipulated right now, if that's the case. And I don't know if he is either. Like, I don't know, I haven't met him either. And I'd have to meet him, and I'd have to get to know him a little bit more, and have to, you know what I mean, to get a full picture. Because it could be narcissism, it could be nothing. He could be totally fine and it's just a persona. We don't know.
Would you come with me?
Yeah, I'll go. Let's hope he's not scary.
I mean, is that, but do I not tell? How do I approach this? Do I say like, oh, I just want to sit and talk and whatever, and then I slowly get into the sociopathic stuff, or do I not even ask?
I don't think we ask. I think it's more, because we're kind of on like we're being detectives, we're trying to figure it out. So I think it's more of like, hey, a lot of people talk trash about you, because they do, and that's why I don't want to say he necessarily is, because I don't really know. But, you know, here's a way for us to sit down and talk and, you know, figure some stuff out. I think it's just kind of like a very open-ended, because we'll see where it leads us. And between the two of us, hopefully we can figure out if he's manipulative or if he's lying or telling the truth and stuff like that. I'm like trained at that pretty well, but like I'm still human.
Yeah.
The one thing about them that I think is really important to know too is that they're instantly likable. They're extremely charismatic. Their manipulation allows them to, they can woo your grandma. They can make kids like them. Everybody thinks they're the life of the party and the best person, because remember when I was saying like they know just exactly what to say at the right time? They're witty, they're quick-witted, they're usually really funny and just overall charismatic, so everybody's gonna like them right away.
See, that gives me hope that he's not one. Because, like, not to drag him, but he's really not likable. I mean, people instantly, they hate that guy.
Yeah.
Very hateable, punchable, I'd say. Is that offensive? Sorry. But you know what I mean? Like, when somebody's like, I want to punch that guy, like, Jake Paul has that effect.
He elicits like it's almost like Jeffree. Like, people love to hate him.
Jeffree Star, same thing.
Go kill yourself. Well.
So I feel like that almost...
That negates it.
Kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you were to say a certain celebrity who was a sociopath, ooh, could I get in trouble? But like, because we don't know. But like, it would be somebody instantly likable, like...
Yeah, I don't know. I hate to like drag somebody because they could be they're super nice. That's why people like them. But I'm not calling anybody out. But let's say like an Ellen, she's super nice. Everybody loves her, and like that would be. And I don't think she is. But I'm just saying that like that's the type of person we're talking about. Is like that super personality. Everybody likes them. They don't really know why.
Did you happen to see the Logan Paul Casey Neistat interview?
Yes.
What did you think?
I mean, it was a little creepy, and he didn't really answer the questions, which I found interesting.
Yeah.
And it was kind of narcissistic. It was all about him and like how it affected him.
It's the most viewed anti-suicide PSA ever.
The one thing that was interesting that relates to like sociopathic behavior is like, instead of accepting, like you and I, if something happened, like even the TanaCon thing, you're like, oh my God, this is terrible. I feel terrible. The person would be like, I am so sorry. And like earnestly, you are sorry. That is horrible. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. A sociopath will in turn say, it was so hard for me. You have no idea. They'll cry. This is all the money I lost and all the things that happened, and so that you feel bad for them. They want to turn it around on the situation on its head, so that then you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And you'll leave every conversation feeling like it was worse for them and you feel bad for them, you know, or you'll view them in a positive light. You're like, man, that must have been so hard for them. They're such a nice person. Like, they'll just completely turn it around.
Maybe I'm being cynical, but there's a little whiff of it sounding like you see yourself in some capacity as a victim. No!
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Logan is like
so likable. And super charismatic.
But Logan, I feel like, is more likable. Right? Like, not as many people hate him.
He's always seen as like the good brother and stuff, you know, which is weird. I would say growing up with that brother, imagine what that was like.
Yeah, like everybody loves Logan, loves Logan, loves Logan.
He gets away with everything.
Gets away with everything because he's so nice and fun and charming. And Jake is, that probably could even make, even if Logan's not a sociopath, that could just make Jake even more like angry, rebellious, like whatever.
Oh,
having
totally.
like
anything to get attention too, maybe.
Accept me, love me.
Might be like why
And that's why they feud so much. Not to get too deep, but like maybe Logan's feud with Jake is more like, well, I don't really care that much. Like, it's just money and I'm getting views. And Jake might actually be personally like,
might actually be mad
at his brother.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jake said, quote, I try to be just like him. It's so easy to get sucked into trying to be someone else, and that's what happened most of my life with my brother.
Wow. We'd have to get to know them more. Because I don't know. Antisocial personality disorder is more common among first-degree biological relatives. So they're more predisposed than the general population. So we were talking about that 1 in 25. If you have someone in your family who has antisocial personality disorder, you're much more likely.
You said something about like a traumatic event. Like, if a kid has a traumatic event happen, are they more likely to become a sociopath later?
I think they're more predisposed for a lot of things. Like, trauma messes with us in so many various ways. Traumas happen all the time. Let's say you were raised in a household where you were physically abused from like the ages of 3 to 12. Essentially what trauma does, if it's done at a young age, is it like doesn't allow us the time to feel safe or to feel like we're actually cared for. It instills fear when we don't really have any place, we don't know where to go with that, we don't have any way to use it, we don't know any coping skills yet. How do we deal with that feeling? The one thing we can do for children, honestly, to like stop perpetuating the cycles that we all have done is like letting them know that how they feel is okay and it's valid. We might not agree, but that doesn't mean that they don't still have that feeling. And if we teach children how to communicate about how they feel, I honestly think that a lot of the ailments and issues we struggle with mentally, as well as physically, could be resolved.
I think that is like, when I was a kid, you know, my mom was going through a lot. And I felt like I had to be strong because she was like having trouble. So it was always like, oh, Shane's my rock. He's my support system. Oh, he's always strong. So I like...
for other people in your life now, too? Are you like a fixer?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were like a parentified child, so you've been like an adult since you were whatever age. Yeah.
And I think now I'm just at the point where I'm like, I like stay up all night and I'm just lost. And I'm just like, oh, which is why I started falling down the holes of like sociopaths and this and that. Because I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I so lost? If I can help all these people, why can't I help myself? Why am I still depressed? Why am I all these things? I look at my channel and I'm like, oh, the more I'm helping people, the worse I'm getting. And this experience with Jake and this sociopath, all this stuff, this very much feels like the breaking point of like, maybe it'll be good to realize I can't help him.
Maybe.
And maybe I should just literally go to therapy myself.
Definitely.
Instead of trying to give therapy to YouTubers like I've been doing.
There is hope. Don't worry.
Yeah, I might have to do a series just about you fixing me. Maybe that is the series, jeez. Like an actual therapist fixing me. Cause like, yeah, that wow.
How long
That'll
is
be
the series?
it. $500.
I'm just teasing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go outside and second guess every single person I meet.
I'm so sorry. It's not that many. I mean, it's quite a few.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay. I'm spiraling. This has become more than just a Jake Paul series at this point, right? This is like, what she described is so many people I know, and so many people I've met, and worked with, and been friends with, and been in a relationship with. That anybody could be a sociopath. Anybody. Like, right there. Like, if we walk into that bar, there's probably, what, 100 people? So that means there's 4?
Why isn't that like a thing that's like talked about? It's so weird.
Because the people in charge might be that.
That's true.
Think about it this way. If your teacher's a sociopath, why would she teach you about it? She doesn't want you to know her tricks. I just got the chills. Or like the president. Everybody thinks Donald Trump is a sociopath. So what if every president's a sociopath? Kinda would make sense, right? I heard Steve Jobs was a sociopath.
I did hear about that. I guess I never really thought about what that even meant. I just hear that word and I go, oh, that's different.
Literally all I know is I'm not a sociopath, you're not a sociopath, and like that's it. I'm not a Like this girl, she could be a sociopath. Look at her, she's smiling. Look at her. Are you a sociopath?
No. I'm out catching birds, you know, those scooters.
That's what a sociopath is. 2 questions. Number 1, do you think Jake Paul is a sociopath?
Absolutely.
Do you think you know any sociopaths in your real life?
I do not.
What if I told you that 1 in 25 people is a sociopath?
Then I would be questioning my friends.
Same. Wanted a picture?
You are so beautiful. I just want to cut your skin off and wear it.
Contestant number 3, step on up.
I don't want to like, I don't want to get involved in family drama. I feel trapped in the mind of Jake Paul. And I want to get out. So do I jump into the mind of Logan? So, okay, I wanted to like jump in and do an update and also a disclaimer and also an apology. That's a lot.
I gotta go.
I do actually want to apologize because there was some backlash and people feeling offended and feeling like I was making a horror movie out of an illness or disorder. And I 100% understand. I think I got carried away with the whole like, ooh, I can make this scary. I love editing scary stuff and I didn't completely think it through and like to treat a person like a scary monster is like not cool and I shouldn't have done that. So I apologize for that, genuinely. Another thing I saw was people saying it's insensitive that you are like trying to diagnose Jake without him knowing. The truth is, he knew the whole time.
Did Shane tell you what it is really about? Yes, he did. He told me before the series started what it was really about. I was like, yeah, bro, like go for it. Like let's do it.
In episode 1, I said, do I think he's a sociopath? I don't know. I do want to sit down with like a professional to get their opinion on that. And I told him I'm going to do that, but I cut it out. And the reason I cut that out was because I was like, oh no, I want to be like more mysterious, which I shouldn't have done. There are things he doesn't know.
This is definitely like new territory for us. Like,
so that's what's happening. Jake is coming. You'll be in episode 5. Today's episode is about his family. Now, this is the disclaimer part. His mom. I know she's not loving this series and she's taking it kind of hard and I understand. 100%, it's her son, it's her family. It's like, these are real people, right? These aren't just characters in a YouTube video. These are actual real people. And after learning so much more throughout the last month and a half, now I understand why the mom makes videos the way she does. And you're gonna see some of her videos today and you're gonna be like, oh, it's not great. But then when you find out why, it just kind of makes sense. And now I feel kind of bad.
She is probably the only person other than me who can really get through to him about most things.
So I don't want like a bunch of people to go hate on Jake's mom. Like, I just don't want that. She doesn't deserve that, and you'll see why. But speaking of the family, so this is where it gets interesting. I talked to Logan. I've been afraid of Logan this whole time.
And that's a fact! That's truth, guys. That's how life works.
I didn't want to go into this trying to expose Logan or talk about Logan and Jake. But then the more I fell down the holes and the more I realized and researched and the more I learned about sociopaths and the more from Jake personally and people.
I'm really nervous, guys. Like, it's my first scene in my first big Hollywood movie. I just want to, I'm just kidding, y'all. Dude, bro.
The more I was like, I can't not talk about this Because it's Jake's brother.
An
right?
exception, I guess. It's wild.
And then the last point I want to make is that we are not all abusive monsters or serial killers. A lot of us are just completely written off as abusive.
And that's what Logan said in his first DM to me, that he said, I think people are getting confused and thinking sociopath and psychopath are the same thing, and they're not. He's like, I am not a psychopath. He's like, I'm not a sociopath, I just have tendencies. But I'm not a psychopath for sure. And a psychopath is somebody that was born that way. It's in their brain. A sociopath is made.
You guys saw it. My family is so lighthearted, and although we did get serious and we did mourn, what today was a celebration. Sometimes you might feel things, which I think are okay. As an actor, like I'm feeling emotions, it's a good thing.
Are we gonna fucking do an interview with Logan? Ooh.
What even is that conversation?
Iconic.
I know.
Logan Paul being like, yeah, I have tendencies.
Oh no.
I mean, just being, because I don't want to talk to somebody that
really
is
man.
like, yeah, it's not my fault.
Oh yeah, oh man, you've been wanting to talk to a person with sociopath tendencies. If it just happens to be Logan.
Whoa.
Oh man. How many parts does the second end up being?
What the heck are you doing?
Ready? Here we go.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
That's how we do it. Now I challenge all the Jake Paulers to do it.
Yo, I can never be as cool as my dad. I'm never gonna be as cool as him.
Dude, what are you doing? Dude, I've been tased before. It doesn't affect me.
What?
Oh, maybe if I go to his channel and search like oldest videos.
Oh yeah.
Jake Paul Daily Life 1.
It's Jake
Okay. Not much has changed.
See the red light? I'm running it. Getting that tan on though. Swag, 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 swag. Hashtag tool, swag, swag. Why are you always trying to jump out the window? Don't jump. No, don't jump.
Telling the dog not to jump out the window. That's good.
Actually, if you jump, you can actually land in the pool. So if you want to jump, just go ahead and jump. Just go ahead and jump. Do it. Come on. Jump. Jump in the pool. 2 seconds ago. This is my bay catcher. This is how I catch bay. Let's go. I'm pregnant.
The first video you clicked on there.
Not great. Let's see how it ended.
Get him! Put him in there! Put him in! Come on! Put him in the water! Put him in! Put him in! Put him in!
Sorry. Am I hurting anyone?
Yes. Sorry. Property.
What's up, guys? So that's the end of vlog day number 1. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm super tired. Good night.
So, he's always been kind of the worst. Listen, all I saw was, you know, breaking the law, telling an animal to kill themselves,
jump in the pool,
telling your friends to beat each other up,
come on, put him in,
laughing at a security guard.
Am I hurting anyone?
Yes.
Saying you're gonna catch a girl with a net.
Damn it.
Anything else? No dead body.
True. Have you ever been around somebody like that? Like,
I don't think we're gonna be friends. Like, I don't think we're gonna like hang out.
Right.
I don't.
Why not? Sorry.
I want to cancel this. Is it too late? I still have hope.
For
this
what?
Is gonna be fine. I don't know. Okay, so I feel like something I haven't done yet is look into Jake's parents. Getting to know the parents will help me understand the child and why Jake is the way he is. Usually, I would just meet them, but luckily, both his parents are on YouTube. So this is the dad. I have like no idea what to expect. I've heard weird things about the dad, but I've never
I've definitely heard stuff, yeah. Like on like Phil DeFranco or Keemstar.
But Deji said that Jake Paul and Logan Paul's father, Greg Paul, he attacked a fan at the press conference.
Fuck Jake Paul! The haters will never, ever have an effect on the Paul family.
Images only.
Now my dad is like, yo, I'm a better kisser than you.
I got more experience, bro.
Dad, there's only one way to settle this. We have to kiss the same girl.
So am I picking the girl?
And then you have to guess, you have to say 1, 2, or 3 was the best, okay?
Maybe 4. Contestant number 3, step on up.
I don't want to like, I don't want to get involved in family drama, but I almost feel like that might be inevitable. I mean, I guess if this is like a whole deep dive investigation on why he is the way he is, then we have to look at the parents.
that's like, I went to school for psychology. That's like the #1 thing that they talk about.
Oh wait, there's like news about the dad?
Where?
Wait, there's like news?
Nick Crumpton reveals Jake Paul's dad abused Team 10 members and employees. Greg Paul, the dad of Jake and Logan Paul, has reportedly completely taken over Jake and Logan's businesses. People had an issue with being verbally abused, watching their coworkers be fired around them, and not being kept in the loop. Apparently, Greg Paul doesn't know how to act. He calls people and derogatory terms at work. If that's true, then that definitely counts as verbal abuse, and we'll have to wait and
Okay. I want to talk to Nick about that. Let's see if he wants to talk about it. Which one should I click on? My ears are crooked, or I stole Jake's diamond play button?
What is this? What channel is this?
This is Vlog Dad.
Is that him? Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Calm down! Apollo! Apollo, calm down!
Apollo! Calm down!
Who did that? Which one did that?
You guys like my new shirt? Africa?
What happened?
Dad is vlogging, and in the background, the dog is barking, and the girl's holding it, and then Jake and Logan are trying to tell the dog to be quiet, and then Logan grabs a plate and smashes it right in front of the dog.
Really?
And he's like, be quiet, like it's like a joke. And the dad's just like, watching.
Like my new shirt.
You guys like my new shirt?
It's not like they kicked the dog or something, right? But like the fact that they broke a plate that close to a dog.
Did it on camera.
And it's on camera, and the dad, and nobody's acting like it's crazy. It's weird,
Yeah.
right?
100%.
I mean, it was Logan that did it. Not to stick up for Jake, but Jake was like just kind of watching.
Calm down!
It's okay, buddy.
Like that's next level. What are you looking at?
He took his shirt off, gone sexual with his son.
They're exploiting him a little bit.
That's a little weird, right? Okay. I'm gonna hold my thoughts until I see more from Mom. Are they together?
I don't think so. I've never seen him like in the same place.
Oh wow, Mom's not even in Dad's other channels. That's a messy divorce. You don't put her in your box, bruh?
What?
I'm trying to make a joke. Jake Paul's mom. Oh my god, is that her son naked?
Where?
In the ziplining one? Like a Simpson bar?
Whoa. Literally. What is this? Literally, what is going on? This is like too confusing to even understand.
I'm gonna give everything a benefit of a doubt until I meet all these people. What I hope is going on is the mom has no fucking idea what's happening, and neither does the dad, and they're just vlogging, and then maybe somebody's making their thumbnails and titles.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. What do I click on? Because, oh, okay, with eggplant.
Wait, what?
With the eggplant. TMI with Logan and the eggplant. Oh.
Literally.
Oh, I hate it. Do I click on the hero or her talking about her son's dick?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't know.
I'll start with the TMI. That was epic. I'm not gonna, I mean, let's just keep it real. Fucking whoa, Transformers shit. So far, I'm in.
So today, I decided, since there's not a lot going on, to watch Logan's vlog. I just had to comment and get involved.
Shake your parents' hand, which I liked as a young
What do you mean?
That's Greg's fault. Greg should have taught Logan to walk up to the door and shake parents' hands. That's the boy's job. I mean, the dad's job to teach the boy. Greg didn't do that either, though. Wow.
Was she just like dissing her ex-husband? Like, feud?
Well, that not only was a feud, but that was like kind of telling. He didn't do that either. What does that even mean?
Now I don't even feel bad about getting involved in family drama because they literally are doing it. They're having family drama in their vlogs. Like,
literally, yeah.
Why did Dad beat my ass when I was growing up?
Did I beat your ass?
You what you up, dude?
I don't know.
Does Vlog Mom reveal who she likes better, Logan or Jake?
He's like using that's as clickbait.
Good afternoon, Pamela. How are you? I just
in the suicide forest. Sorry. It's just like I saw Logan's video. It did pretty good.
Oh.
Anyways, here's my Q&A.
Is that going to? Are you gonna keep doing the video?
I mean, I have to say a joke or else I'm going to have a breakdown. Okay.
Hi to the family.
What?
Say hi to the family.
Jake's in it.
What's that?
You know what that is, you guys. Goofing with me.
What is it?
Are you vlogging?
What's that?
I'm so excited. Look what came. Look.
Oh, is it the necklace?
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
This I got you.
I know, so I didn't open it yet.
Oh, you're opening it on your vlog.
I'm opening it on my vlog. With you on the phone.
Okay.
Look at the mess it's making.
I'm glad that we can have real connections now. It's just both of each other vlogging.
I know, right?
Ow, I'm sorry. Ow. Ow. Okay. I feel so fucking uncomfortable. What do I do? Andrew, help me.
No.
Okay, I love you.
I've never vlogged a birthday gift before. I love you too, honey.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Okay, that is revelation number 1.
I'm gonna say something to put everything in perspective. Think about it this way, right? Justin Bieber has done a lot of the same things that Jake has done, right? Like,
yeah, 100%.
Speeding.
For driving recklessly through their neighborhood.
And this is the kind of behavior that is unacceptable to be done by anybody, anywhere.
Justin Bieber admits to cheating on Selena Gomez. Cops were called for excessive loud noise.
Imagine if Justin's mom and dad were vloggers, and imagine if Justin Bieber's mom put up a video called "Who Do I Love Better? Which Child Do I Love Better?" and had Bieber in the thumbnail. I think as a society, we would all be like, oh, that's so fucking sad. Oh, that's so sad for Justin Bieber, right? I think everybody would feel that way. It would be like a news story, it would be on TMZ, it would be like a thing.
Yeah.
Because Jake is hateable and fun to hate, It's like nobody's talking about this.
Because it's on YouTube. Because Justin Bieber's not really a YouTuber.
Right.
But in the YouTube world, everybody's a character, so it's not like they're real people.
Like she's using his high school photos as a thumbnail. Like imagine your mom. Like imagine going on YouTube and seeing that your mom used your high school photos as a thumbnail.
Oh man.
Right?
Whoa. When you put it like that. Because that just seems so like, I don't know what the word is for that.
Wow, look who's here. It's Jerica. What? Time to go, guys.
Yeah. Don't give a shit about your vlog.
You're so mean to me. You need to leave.
No, that wasn't mean to you. That's just like, that's what I'm saying. She didn't even look at you.
Erica doesn't want to be on camera, don't you get it?
But neither did Jake.
I know. Morning, Jaker.
We got Sleep and Beauty.
Yeah. Okay.
I love you, Bob.
Love you too, guys.
When Jake walked out, he literally turned back around after he saw his mom was down there vlogging, like he didn't want to come down. I'm sure that the mom loves them. And I don't blame her, because I think she's probably so excited that people are like watching and she has a vlog channel. Maybe she's feeling a little bit like, oh, I have a thing too.
100,000 subscribers, vlog mom. Look at that. I love it, you guys, and it's all because of you.
But what was their childhood like? Were there no boundaries? And I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll ask Jake about it. I don't want to like get involved in family drama, but
maybe he wants you to, you know? He knows how you talk to people on camera. Why is he wanting to do a video with you too? That's another thing. Maybe he kind of is hoping that somebody kind of swoops in and kind of helps him with stuff like this.
Like, if he actually talks about this stuff and is real about it, like, that's gonna fuck me up. Which I can't do, because people are gonna say like, oh, you're fucking like trying to make him look good and you're fucking whatever. Like, that's all you do, Shane. You cry with people and you make them look good. Like,
I kind of feel a little bad for him too.
I know. I don't want to say I feel bad for him because people are gonna think I'm lying.
No, I get it. I mean, I definitely get it. I mean, maybe he's not that bad. Maybe he's like, he just is a byproduct of kind of the people around him. Maybe that's not even who he really is.
Team 10 is a dysfunctional family. My family is a dysfunctional family. Everything in my life is one big dysfunctional head.
Jake Paul, draw my life.
Yo, yo, yo! If you're new here, my name is Jake Paul, and this is my channel. I'm currently 19 years old. I live in Los Angeles with my friends, Team 10. I'm an actor in a couple of movies, and I make videos online for you guys. There's a lot more to the story, and today I'm going to draw it out for you. My parents' names are Greg Paul and Pamela Stepnick. They already had another kid named Logan Paul, so this made us brothers, and he was older by 2 years. Logan was also a savage, and I spent my whole life with him basically side by side. My mom gave me my nice and caring side, while my dad gave me my manly and hard-working side. My mom was a nurse. My dad used to be in the army and then became a real estate agent, and from the time I can remember, my parents instilled in Logan and I a great work ethic and a competitive spirit. Whatever we did, we wanted to be the best at, and we had the work ethic to match that. My brother and I would always train and work out to become better at playing football. My dad, Logan, and I would train all the time and push our limits to become better athletes. We would always see who could run faster, do more push-ups, and so on. Right around this time, my dad bought my brother and I a camera so we could record our football games, watch them back, and see how we could improve. My mom would be the filmer, and she was also our biggest fan. And our dad was the head coach of our Pee Wee League team. Football aside, Logan and I took the camera and
like, I'm not a therapist, but your dad's the coach, and then you have to watch it again, and they tell you what you did wrong.
The competitive spirit thing is a lot.
Logan and I took the camera and started filming random stuff we did around our house. We started watching YouTube videos as our form of entertainment. Our favorite channel was called Smosh. We loved their videos and wanted to create our own channel. So, being the savages we were, we did. And we called it Zoosh. God damn it, Logan, what were we thinking? It was almost the exact same as Smosh. In the meantime, my parents had started fighting and eventually got a divorce. This was a bit of a hard time for Logan and I, but at the end of it, it taught us a lot about life. By the time I was in middle school, as you can imagine, I was the class clown. Always causing trouble, making jokes, and I couldn't sit still. I didn't like school. I still don't. In 8th grade, our class would go on a trip to Washington, D.C. at the end of the year. But you couldn't go on the trip if you had 15 behavior strikes. By the middle of the year, I had 14. So, I became a good kid for the rest of the year and got to go on the trip. Savage. As a freshman, I no longer wanted to go to the NFL. Football just wasn't as fun anymore, and wrestling seemed to interest me more.
Can I just say something? Not to like diagnose or like get you whatever, but like, I don't know if, like, it doesn't seem like it's a coincidence that like his parents broke up. He said he was going through a hard time, which led to him getting 14 behavioral strikes. And then he decided, if football's boring, now I want to wrestle. Like, that's a kid with a fuck ton of anger issues.
The only more aggressive sport than football is wrestling.
Yeah. That's somebody who needs to take out all that anger, and they can't do it at home, so they do it. It's cool. I know they do it on YouTube. Okay. Oh my god, another fighting.
Jake Paul is your winner.
After wrestling season, I found myself lost. I didn't know what my future looked like. I didn't know what I wanted to do. This went on for a couple of months until I found out about the Navy SEALs. It was everything I loved. Hard work, mental toughness, guns, fast vehicles, competition. For the next couple of months, that's all I could think about and do. Until summer came and Logan said to me, we should start making videos again. I was so down. Randomly, 2 weeks later, this app called Vine had just came out. I told my bro about it and he loved it too. 2 weeks later, we got into a competition, of course, on who could get more followers. So, here we were in the middle of Ohio, spending hours.
This fucking competition shit sucks.
Yeah. Well, also, like, they train us to have a competitive spirit. They're trying to get them to be better at football. Like, go to the NFL. Like, they kind of train them to do this.
Right.
I realized that I could make money from making videos. This was amazing. I didn't know what to do except freak out. It got to a point where I would go to wrestling tournaments and the competition would ask to take pictures with me or be freaking out. Sometimes, though, they would film me if I lost and post it on Vine talking that smack talk. The videos just made me laugh, though. The bad part about all the fame and money is that attracts haters. People in my school, the kids that I grew up with, started hating on me. They would talk so much smack and tweet me the nastiest things. At first, this really upset me and it was hard to deal with. My mom would see the haters and call their moms and yell at them. Love you, Mom. Eventually, though, I realized that they were just jealous and that was their way of expressing it. I knew that I could turn my internet fame into something massive. And so that's what I set out to do. On my last day of school, I said goodbye. Most kids were still talking smack, and a teacher even asked me, "What are you going to do when social media dies?" on my way out. I just smiled and waved. They didn't understand the vision. 17 and in Los Angeles with a lot to prove, I started grinding every day trying to make things happen. I started by going to acting classes, improv classes, and meeting with anyone I could. But I knew I wanted to do social media, acting, and business. This is when I created Team 10. It started with Alyssa and I, and kept growing, and then now we're growing more and more each month. Eventually, while all of this was happening, I then got called into audition for Disney Channel's new show called Bizarre Park. It was intimidating and nerve-wracking. My brother said to me, either come back Dirk, or come back on your shield. After a couple of auditions and beating out the other actors, I came back Dirk. I remember getting the call and just freaking out. I legit almost cried. It was a dream come true. I filmed the first season of the show already, and we start filming season 2 here in a couple months. The other week, I got to do the infamous, "Hi, I'm Jake Paul, and you're watching Disney Channel," with the wand and everything. It's about to be 2017, and that's basically my life in a nutshell. Posting every day on YouTube, acting, doing business, making comedy skits for Instagram, and laughing the rest of the time. If you aren't already a Jake Pauler, you better join the family because we are just getting started. And 2017 is going to be the craziest year yet.
That's so ironic because 2017 was like the worst year of his life.
Yeah.
My gut tells me that Nick got thrown out when the dad came in. I think the dad was like, no, come on, we're gonna do this. Like back in like football times. Like me and my boys, we got this.
He's the coach.
Yeah. And like, I respect the thought of like a dad who's like, come on kids, we got this. But I think then Jake doesn't really have a dad. He just has a boss or a coworker. I think this is like way more deep and complicated than I was expecting. Sociopaths.
Yes.
So, what are the characteristics, I guess?
Sociopaths believe that like the law doesn't apply to them.
Not hurting anyone?
And like the rules don't apply to them.
Always causing trouble. 15 behavior strikes.
They drive fast, probably.
Fast vehicles.
So they always just think they're better,
Whatever we did, we wanted to be the best at.
bigger.
Savage.
Savages only.
So if they're watching a ton of YouTube videos,
We started watching YouTube videos as our form of entertainment.
let's say someone was super successful.
Our favorite channel was called Smosh.
If they saw that someone was doing this, they're like, oh, they got so many views. And like,
Logan said to me, we should start making videos. YouTube?
then they'll be like, oh, I could do that too.
We loved their videos and wanted to create our own channel. And we called it Zoosh.
I can mimic that.
It was almost the exact same as Smosh. God damn it, Logan, what were we thinking?
And so they learn like what type of emotional responses get what they want.
We love you. Make the heart. Yeah, make a heart.
The people in the comments really feel for them.
We love you. It's because we love you.
And then maybe they'll buy more merch or whatever, right? Power, money.
I realized that I could make money from making videos.
You'll leave every conversation feeling like it was worse for them and you feel bad for them.
I kind of feel a little bad for him too.
You know, or you'll view them in a positive light. You're like, man, that must have been so hard for them. They're such a nice person.
Well, but they don't have emotions, so like they wouldn't cry.
No.
I legit almost cried.
They can even be married with kids. Whatever they think helps them fit in, they're gonna put up the best show that they can.
I've definitely met a few where I've got that gut feeling, but I don't get that gut feeling. I honestly don't think he is one. I'm gonna keep it real. Are those people probably
better manipulators? Or they know enough about you?
Bye.
Dear Shane Dawson. You can't just say like, you're a sociopath. The word I would like to use is sociopathic tendencies. So a lot of us, me included, will do some dumb shit. Maybe some stuff that lacks empathy. Strictly for views, right? It gets us views.
I'm gonna be the biggest entertainer on the planet.
Which gets us subscribers. Our motivating factor is to reach the next level.
Next level, guys. 2.8 billion views on YouTube this year.
Sociopath is boiled down someone who is just more savage than everyone else.
Savage.
Savages only.
I don't want to piss off the mom and make her feel bad. I just think that she has no idea how bad this looks. Is he gonna be mad at me for talking about this stuff?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe, probably. We'll see, I guess.
I am not looking forward to this.
Okay, my cut.
You're oh, I didn't even know you were phone. the Alyssa situation with the ex-girlfriend.
Jake's kicking me out.
Yeah. I watched her video.
It was both of our faults, really. He shouldn't have treated me like shit day after day and then expect everything to be okay.
And I saw videos of him like spitting on her. Was the thing about Logan like hooking up with Jake's ex-girlfriend?
Alyssa had sex with his older brother, Logan.
How much of all of that is real?
It was not, that wasn't planned. That'd be sick if that was planned.
But it happened?
Yeah.
Okay. Tattoos.
Probably.
Him having a mini panic attack over the fact that Jake Paul's left him an answer machine message. What is the big deal? I'm shaking. I'm like, what? I mean, you're an overreactor, mate.
Like, I'm bored of the content. I'm not bored of the series. I almost don't even know how to explain it.
Buckle the fuck up. Because you're never gonna see a video like this again.
I just don't understand how someone could do that to someone. I don't. I promised myself I wouldn't cry, and I don't want to cry. Ugh.
I have an idea. Okay, wait. Film? Yeah. Okay. I have news for you, but we have to find a quiet place because Rylan's outside doing a brand deal. Are you still filming? Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the back. Okay. After days and days of trying to convince him, Nick Crompton is in.
No, it's Nick Crompton and my collar stay popping.
I have been trying to get this motherfucker to say yes to being interviewed for literally a week. Now, the reason it was so important for me to interview Nick Crompton is because he was with Jake since the very beginning. He knows Jake very, very well, on and off camera. He knows the business side of things. He worked with Team 10. This whole thing was very personal to him. You know, like this was his life, you know, managing Team 10, friends with Jake. So I understand why he's been so apprehensive. And this, to me, just proves like what kind of person he is, right? He said, I don't know how to do the accent.
Oh, good luck. He's got a very specific accent. It's not just like the cliche British accent. It's like,
when my life started getting crazy.
Jesus Christ.
I'll just do it normal. He said,
okay.
When my life started getting crazy with all the attention and the money, etc., I started typing up all my core values and beliefs in my notepad, so I never lost myself or did something that I would regret. In those notes, there's a sentence that says, I'll never publicly talk about the personal lives of others, as I expect the same from people closest to me. I guess I could try to do this if Jake knows 100% that I'm doing it. I don't want him to think I'm going behind his back, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm talking about them for publicity.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know.
He wrote that down. I never want to talk about somebody that's...
I know, I just love him. So that meant I had to go to Jake. So I basically said, Jake, listen, I want to interview Nick, I trust him, I think I need to interview the other side. And he was like, 100%, I agree. Yes, it's a yes. There are conditions though. So I wanted to obviously interview Nick at his place, and he was like, I'm so sorry, like I can't. I have so many issues right now with privacy and like PTSD from the whole Team 10 situation. I mean, there was literally like hundreds of kids outside of their house 24/7. He sent me an address for a house that is a business he's working on. I don't know. It's confusing and I don't understand it, but it's a mansion. And We're going. We're not allowed to show the outside. I don't know why. There's a lot of secrecy with this whole situation.
What have you been up to?
Everything I'm doing is still secret.
Why am I nervous? I'm nervous.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little nervous too.
I guess, let's go to England. My favorite city. Jesus. So Jake Paul.
I'm intimidated.
No, I'm curious because when I first met you, I asked you like, oh, do you watch YouTube? And you were like, oh, well, I mean, I watch like, you know, Logan Paul and like kind of that's it. And I remember literally going, ew. Which is judgmental.
Yeah, you did. I wasn't like an everydayer. I wasn't an everyday girl. But I would watch occasionally because I was like, oh, how fun is that? They all live in like a house of YouTubers. Like, little did I know.
Who's the best YouTuber?
You!
Who's the best YouTuber?
Do you know any of the bad stuff Jake has done? Like, have you kept up with any of it?
The only bad video I've ever watched about Jake is the one like that Alyssa Violet made.
He dragged me down the stairs. This scar right here.
But also, who knows like what that situation was.
Alyssa Violet and Jake broke up because there was a lot of abuse.
Listen, we gotta clarify that because it's a huge word. Verbal and just mental stuff.
Okay.
So what's like one question that you think I should ask him?
One question for Jake Paul. This is a bad question.
What?
You're gonna be like, this is not serious. I wanna know if Jared or not. I've heard that it's fake. I've heard from sources that it's not real.
Really? Sources? Sorry.
Yeah, what sources? Where, can I have them?
Twitter. Let me know if Cherk is real.
That'll be the one
Wait,
thing
who's your favorite team tenor? I've been watching Erica Costello and her vlogs are actually pretty good.
0 to 1,000,000 subs real quick.
Interesting.
I'm Erica Costello.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, bye. What's up, Costellers? Make sure you get some of this goat merch before it sells out. The 2-piece matching collection is my absolute favorite. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
I didn't know she did that.
What did she do?
Bye.
I stand.
And she's a goat. Greatest of all time.
Oh.
Woo! I stand. I told you. All right, what's up to the next one?
Should I officially call the Uber now?
Yeah.
I have a list of things I really want to ask him and things I know he's not going to want to answer. And you can't film the outside of the house, so maybe like just film our feet or just the floor.
What are you?
I thought the car was gonna fall.
Oh shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said I'm sorry. I'm supposed to show buildings, I guess. Oh, I think we're here. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Have a good time, sir.
Thank you so much. I'll try. This is New Crompton's Jeep.
What time is it?
We're kind of early.
Trying to not get anything.
This is one of the biggest houses I've ever seen. Oh my.
What was that? Somebody said, are we going into like a Disney movie?
Oh my god. Oh, it's time for my Adderall. Sorry. Fuck. Don't let me forget.
Don't let you forget. What am I?
You Shane? Madeline. Nice to meet you.
Do you mind if I film you?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Cool.
I'll bring you guys upstairs.
Whoa. There's an elevator in the house?
Yes. Oh, you guys can see the movie theater.
The movie theater.
What's going on?
Oh my god.
Right?
What is this? Where are we? Do we know what this is? Do you know what this is?
All of these houses are just like all influencers. Networking.
What is this house? Or are we not allowed to say yet?
Oh, no. So she lives here. I'm her assistant. The owner.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Along with a few other influencers.
Wait. Okay.
And we are in the elevator.
Wow. Okay. Elevator house.
It still scares me though. I don't know. I don't think I trust the house elevator.
Yeah, me too.
I've never had any issues. Alright.
After you. Whoa. What is happening? What? That's such a big table.
I know, right?
Who's it for?
These houses are really built for influencers, so
I don't have one of them.
we can come over anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
What is going on? Wait, oh. Wow. This is crazy. This is so cinematic.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Thank you for joining
I was going to say, do I say hi to you or not?
How you doing, brother?
Oh my god.
You like it?
This is... What is this? This is crazy. Wow, there's a fridge out here. There's 2 of them.
There's other places we can film. I like being outside.
Same. If outside is this.
Whatever it's so.
Okay. This is so weird because we've never done this before.
No, this is, and especially I've been watching all of these things. When I'm at home and I'm like seeing the tweets when you post these videos, like everyone talks about it.
The reason you're going to see more and more of Jake Paul is it appears that he is the focus of the next Shane Dawson documentary series.
So this is kind of very nerve-wracking.
So, how did Jake even find you?
So back in the UK, I built a marketing agency with like 6 other people and it did really well. I ended up coming out here and helping Jake build Team 10.
I still don't think I understand how insane the whole thing was and what it must have been like to be in Team 10 with all the people outside.
It's every day, bro! It's every day, bro!
With hundreds of millions of views on a music video. You're a meme, you're everywhere.
What is that? What is that?
And like that's not what you probably signed up for.
No.
You know it's Nick Crumpton and my colors stay pumping.
Is that why you were nervous to do this? Or why it's taken a while for you to say yeah?
Talking about how I feel and what's going in my head and talking about someone else's personal life is not something I'm comfortable with. But Jake said it was fine, so yeah, we're here.
I was just like, it looks so like iconic.
Wait, okay, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, what was it like living in the Team 10 house? Did you actually live in it?
Yeah.
Like you slept there? What was that like?
I guess Team 10 was like my college experience. Or the closest thing that I'm going to get to it because I didn't go.
Right.
It's a bunch of people living together, just having fun. But we were making money at the same time and it was a business.
Was it as chaotic as people make it out?
No. If it was, I wouldn't have lived there.
Right.
Like, I can't deal with that.
Because one thing I did hear about from somebody was some of the pranks, like the bigger, crazier pranks, were planned.
Okay.
Are you scared to say it? Jake is gonna have to tell me the truth. That's the whole thing. Jake said he swore to God he would be super honest with me when it came to everything. So when I asked him that, and I'm like, were some of the pranks fake? Like breaking down walls, and like doing crazy things.
Good morning!
Like, was that all planned? If he says know it was real, I'm gonna be like, you're a liar, and I'm gonna leave. So...
Is that really what you're gonna do?
What?
What you just said. If he says that it's not, you're just gonna walk out?
Yeah, if he lies to me about anything, I'm just gonna leave.
Okay. This is like the... I feel like it fixes a lot of problems, especially some of the big problems where people just think something that's not true.
You couldn't breathe?
No.
I feel like pretty much everyone that's a little bit older knows that it's all fake.
It's all over!
It's just difficult to say that they're fake when there's still loads of young kids watching and enjoying it, and I don't know if... I don't want to be responsible for ruining that whole thing.
We have 15 tasers. Oh my gosh. We're gonna chase Nick. I have these. Okay, chase Nick, okay, ready?
You know what I mean?
You don't want to say Santa Claus is fake.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die.
Yes, I don't want to be in that scenario where I just say to a bunch of kids like, everything you've been watching isn't real.
Hey Nick!
I mean, okay. Well, I'd say, like, for example, there's this video, right? Paparazzi is filming you guys, and you guys are filming a Jake Paul video. And you can see moments when the camera turns off where Jake is just kind of like standing there, not really knowing what to do, and then he talks to you guys, and then he like throws something off your desk.
You don't feel shit.
And then the camera cuts, and then like, I think Erica picks it up, and then you figure it out, and then he films again. So, but then when you watch the actual video, he looks crazy.
If you already have an already,
he's like throwing things and acting crazy, whatever.
Nipple plunge. What?
So it was interesting because I'm like, oh.
Jake Paul, let's slip and do that.
Alright, cool guys. If all of this is planned, if like destroying someone's room is planned, if handcuffing people to beds or whatever is planned.
No, Jake. Jake, no.
If pushing people down in stores and doing all that kind of stuff is planned.
That's how we're gonna wake everyone up.
Then it kind of changes my opinion a little bit. Because it makes him look less like impulsive and crazy.
What the hell are you doing?
Good morning, honey!
And more like, this will be funny, right? If I break this thing and throw this thing and do this thing. I guess I'm talking about those ones.
Yeah.
Like, what's the biggest one? Like, he destroyed a kid's room or something? That was a thing.
I mean, that whole thing, as I've never talked about this, but we're on the topic. I was super close to the Martinez twins, as was Jake, and as was everyone on Team 10. Like, it was super fun, and we all loved each other, and then all of a sudden, they came out with this video.
Yo, what's up guys? We're the Martinez twins.
Saying that we were bullying them.
You bully us for like 8 months. Now, it's our time. And I'm sorry, Jake. I'm so sorry because of this.
Using examples from Jake's vlogs, like him being handcuffed to a bed or something for a day or whatever it was.
We were in a room, so he started pranking us every single day. Like, we felt so bad. Like, the reason's like...
Not real. Like, it's so strange to say that. I don't...
Because we trust Nick. We trust Nick.
Was it the twins where their bedroom was destroyed and...
Goodbye, Martinez room!
And they were saying in the video, like, oh, he destroyed our room.
Like, he destroyed our room.
And we didn't know.
Like, why? I was like what the hell are you doing? It's every day, bro!
They did know. It wasn't even a room, it was a fake room that we built.
We actually made the room in one day. Yeah, in one day.
Like, they went to Home Depot.
We bought everything, we built it.
And like, we made them a fake room in the living room and then destroyed it.
You built it to destroy it, basically.
Yeah.
Woo, this is fun, man.
And if Jake had just said that, or if anyone had just said the pranks are fake, that would have debunked everything the Martinez twins were doing.
Do I think the Martinez twins were bullied? No. Do I think that they probably got annoyed by the pranks? Hell yeah, like we all did.
Hold it up. I did say that was gonna happen.
You did.
Wait.
But it wasn't ever a threatening situation to be in.
Yo, you almost died, dude.
I was dumb, right?
No, bro. It's not dumb.
And if it was to them, they could have said something, but they never did.
The real though, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, that was dope, right?
Yeah, that was dope.
You want to do it again
Shout
tomorrow?
out to Martinez twins.
Hey, hey, you got a plug.
Not once ever did I see them seem upset or unhappy. Things were so bad at the Team 10 house. Why did they come back so many times?
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, because
it's every day,
it's
bro.
every day,
okay.
bro.
Like everything that they were accusing Jake of doing in Team 10, we're sitting back like, we're just not gonna take this one.
And I've never have seen anyone talk poorly of the Martinez twins.
When you do so much for someone and they just stab you in the back like that, like, it just takes a toll on you emotionally.
It's like they're joking around, but like the situation actually like really affected me.
And every time something happens, it's like we don't want to tell everyone that everything's fake. So we just keep taking these hits.
Bye, Tessa.
And why is Jake afraid of just saying that? Like, it's just fake.
She's such a good sport. Like, I love you, Tessa.
Because are those kids gonna watch still if they believe that, if they know that none of it's real? There is kids that watch and that understand that the clowns are not real. Obviously.
Are you still filming?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are very young kids watching that shouldn't be seeing and believing that Jake and Erica are really getting kidnapped.
Right.
Like, that's wrong. And
who is your audience? Who do you make your videos for?
Yeah, my audience is definitely younger. I'd say it's like 8 years old to like 16 years old. I try to be as clean as possible. Oh. I hate clowns, so I can only imagine like what they're gonna feel like.
I should go inside sometime soon. It's getting pretty dark.
Yeah. Let's go inside for that.
Oh, you ask him about advice?
Take the sympathy and plug. It's like, you know what I mean? Get the empathy of the viewers. You're killing it.
Thanks, man.
Jake, you help us, and I want to say thank you for that.
Sorry, what?
There's like models everywhere.
They're finishing up, but it might take like 15-20 minutes to clean up, so we can go in the theater.
Okay, yeah. Let's go to the movie theater.
No. I don't know.
Okay, we're in the movie theater, which is kind of perfect because movies are fake.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in Jake's life that people think is fake. His girlfriend Erica.
Oh, I spelled. Oh man, I spelled it.
She wasn't like cast to be his girlfriend.
No.
Will you be my girlfriend?
There's no, I don't know why people have this like thought that Team 10 is cast.
When I first met him, our relationship was completely business.
Online, like Erica and I are dating.
And you cast Erica to be Jake's girlfriend, and that's her role, that's who she is.
And I use all these thumbnails where I say she's my girlfriend.
The stuff that we do is dramatized, but it's still real people.
You can only pretend so much on the vlogs. I think it's very obvious when Jerica like started getting super real.
Right now, from what I've seen, the new Team 10 members, it seems a little staged.
Ice around my neck like my neck hurt.
I mean, there's like this girl, Sunny, who's like a singer.
Let me catch my car fuel color.
Justin Roberts, who is like from rich parents.
6 figures I was only for. So much money I can't see the floor.
Damn. He was born rich, he gonna die rich. I was born broke, I'm gonna die broke. I'm about to start crying, man.
Everything seems very much like maybe these kids have paid to be there.
There's no way anyone would ever be signed to Team 10 because they bribed their way in. He would never accept someone if he thought they couldn't be something. because then he's a failure.
But he takes a percentage, right?
Yeah.
20%, that was like a big thing.
Members leave Team 10, but I still collect their checks. Every single one of them, and that includes my ex.
And this is another thing, like, it's that money doesn't go in Jake's pocket, as everyone likes to believe. It's not, it goes in Team 10's pocket. It's a business. Just like when you go to Starbucks and you pay for a coffee, you're not paying that money to the person giving you the coffee, it's going to the business.
About Team 10, right? This video is about Team 10, right?
Team 10, yeah. So, Team 10 is the company.
Yeah.
And Jake is almost the face of it.
Yeah, he fulfills the role of CEO.
I'm the CEO, I'm the boss T-Rex.
Like the Team 10 house.
Yeah.
That house they rented before Jake was even really popular. Was somebody else paying for that?
Original Team 10 house was rented and paid for by, there was investors.
I'm Jake Paul, I'm a Snapchat creator and actor, and this is my home. Come check it out.
And help cover the costs of paying staff. What the talent were making, the 20%, would go to Team 10 to be able to pay for the staff, to be able to provide that.
So, the house. The biggest thing that happened was the address was leaked. Like, couldn't you Google Team 10 house and it would pop up?
Yeah. Another thing that people seem to believe is that Jake would leak his own address so people would come, like...
He apparently makes his address no secret. The neighbors hate me.
Why would you want around 50 to 70, 80 people outside your house at all times?
Hey, don't pound. Guys, don't pound. Knock. Knock is courteous.
Jake definitely doesn't want that. None of us in the house wanted that.
Teensy, the wall. Get a piece of it.
Because as soon as you go out that door, it's instant screaming from a bunch of people. And usually you have paparazzi filming, so whatever you do and say or don't do, like it's all recorded.
Gentle, they make you famous. Gentle with the children, they make you famous.
When that's happening, and you have all those people outside, you don't want to get pictures with them because that encourages everyone else to come as well. Can we keep moving?
But gentle, they make you famous. Remember, they give you paychecks, they make you famous, you stay gentle.
But if you don't get pictures with them, you look like an asshole.
Yeah.
Because you're ignoring the people that are supporting you and enabling you to have the life that you're living.
Remember, you guys make them famous, you guys give them paychecks.
What is the answer to that situation?
That's right. We give them paychecks, we make them famous, tell them to be gentle.
There's no way of re-hiding the house. It wasn't our fault. There's no way we would want that. But the whole world thinks that we wanted to make a spectacle of ourselves, or Jake wanted to make a spectacle of himself.
They did, though. You can't expect us not to come when you're giving it out.
No, I understand.
I'm not an idiot. I'm not blind. Like, I see what everyone else sees in these videos. But what they don't see is what happens when the videos get turned off. Not many people get to see that side of Jake.
Do people around him not think he's nice?
People around him think he's nice.
Saying that makes people think like...
that I must be some kind of dumbass.
Yeah.
I must be really manipulated or just really dumb. Yeah. Like, I must be so dumb to be even talking about him nicely right now. And giving him this redemption bullshit. But it isn't. This is all just the truth.
Surprise!
He has done a lot of dumb stuff, and I'm not saying there's an excuse for that. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that people don't know, and the reason behind things, and yeah.
So, you said Team 10 is real. When did it all start to fall apart? Like, what made everybody just started leaving, kind of one by one by one?
I love everyone here, and I have so much fun filming with everyone. And you guys need to understand that you're being manipulated. And I know for a fact, I've been there, guys. It's me.
In the beginning, there were different reasons for different people. Things for me started getting different when Greg Paul got involved.
Are you okay talking about this?
Yeah. He's just... I don't know how to explain that man. But he forced his way in, and somehow, I mean, in the beginning, he tried to get involved, and I'd talk to Jake, and he'd come out, and it didn't work out, and he'd rub everyone up the wrong way, and just no one wanted him there, and then he ended up disappearing again, going back to Ohio. And it was like a cycle, like Jake would get mad at him and be like, you're fucking everything up, just go away. And then I don't know, he came out again to when we moved into the new house, and I don't know, just managed to get some kind of authority and start making decisions, and everything just started not being what it was supposed to be. And I didn't like it, I didn't like what was happening, so I left.
My personal opinion, I've never met Jake's dad.
Hey, how's it going?
It's my dad.
Hey, Dad.
But a parent working with their child, in any case, doesn't work. But it's probably hard to explain that to Jake because it literally is his dad.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey man, I don't think this is a good idea. And then he's probably just like, well, fuck you, that's my dad.
Yeah, it was a constant fight between me and Greg. Like, I just don't like that guy.
I don't want to like involve the family, right? Like I just wanted to do something about Jake. But if I'm doing something about the fall of Jake Paul and all the drama and the controversies, his dad is involved in a lot of it.
The other day I ran into Greg Paul. So get the f out of my face. Go f yourself. Like you're a great father figure.
Do I bring up his dad to him? Do I not even? I feel like I have to.
Serious personal stuff, I believe, should never be on the internet. It should never be everyone's business. And so, Jake's done stupid stuff, and people know about that, but whatever's happened between me and him is always going to stay between me and him. The only reason I'm here right now is because Jake said that I could talk about this stuff. Whatever Greg has or hasn't done should stay between whoever he has or hasn't done it to. So, do you involve Greg, do you not? Because this is about Jake and then you're involving someone else's life. I don't know.
And hey, do you like Jake too, or just Logan?
I like Logan more.
You do?
Oh!
Hear that, Jake?
Okay. What happened to where you still haven't talked to Jake?
So, I knew when I told him that I wanted to leave, he would want me to leave right then. He does take things very personally. And I think maybe someone like me leaving will hit him more than it has before. I tried to do it in the best way possible, but I think he was just too upset or angry to even listen, and it was just very abrupt with me, and asked me to leave, so I left. And I've texted him a few times on certain things. I texted him just before the fight. That's the last time I texted him, just saying good luck, not that you need it. Still not heard anything back. And like
Why do you think he takes it so personally when somebody, I mean, has he like excommunicated himself from everybody that's left? What about like that chance and like, I guess.
So that's how Team 10 unfortunately works, and I don't know how that happened or why the mindset was like that, but if someone leaves Team 10, it's like, well, you don't like us then, because it wasn't like just fully a business. It was, we were a family that lived together and we all loved each other, and if you didn't want to be in that, then you mustn't like us, and you must have something against us, and something along those lines is the thought process. When people leave, it's like you're not supposed to talk to them because they fucked you over. So that's why I'm thinking in my head, does Jake think I fucked him over by leaving? Because that must mean I don't like him because I don't want to be there.
That's like a cult.
I was gonna say the same thing.
That's literally a cult.
Yeah.
Like, you're either with us or you're against us. When you leave, you disassociate. You don't talk to them. Like.
But he blocked me. He wouldn't talk to me. That.
Did he cut communication from Tessa and all the other people that left? I mean, that's like a cult.
Best family.
A family.
Family. We are family.
And I don't know if he's leading it.
Who should we bring on to Team 10? We're gonna have more people in the future? It's gonna grow?
Or if his dad is leading it, or if him, his dad, and his brother are all leading it. But I, in my years on YouTube, have never seen a squad have a house, have rules. That was another thing, right? He had a bunch of rules or something. People were like, he had a lot of rules.
In the beginning, but they were encouraging people to be better.
It all feels very culty to me.
It makes me sad that, like, sometimes I think to myself, Like, what if he didn't give a fuck about me, actually? Like, what if he just saw me as this person that was gonna help him run his business, and that when I chose to leave that, like, oh, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Like, I wasn't actually his friend or anything like that. I don't know anything at this point.
What you explained is sociopaths. What you said sounded like that? I
don't think he is one. He shows too much emotion in everything that he does to be a sociopath. And I feel like I can read people very well. I know when someone's been fake and I know when someone isn't. And I can see, oh my god, I can see him, when things happen to him and he's hurt, I can see him trying to process what he's feeling. But he like has a hard time doing it. Like, he looks confused as to like, why do I feel upset right now? Or why this? To himself. And I can see it in his face when someone says something or something happens and he's thinking about the situation. I can see him, the confusion in his face of like, why, I'm just speculating, but why am I feeling like this right now? I don't think he's a sociopath.
Have you ever seen him cry?
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me what it was about, but what was the general, like, was it something that happened to him? Was it something that was like...
It's something that happened to him, yeah.
And was it not business related?
No.
Interesting.
He has been fucked over by a lot of people, and I think a mixture between being fucked over by people, just suddenly having all this success and fame, and other factors, maybe like his dad, have... yeah.
The Alyssa situation with the ex-girlfriend.
Jake's kicking me out.
Yeah.
I watched her video.
It was both of our faults, really. He shouldn't have treated me like shit day after day and then expect everything to be okay.
And I saw videos of him like spitting on her. Was the thing about Logan like hooking up with Jake's ex-girlfriend?
Alyssa had sex with his older brother, Logan.
How much of all of that is real?
No, it's very much real.
So like the Jake's brother hooking up with Jake's ex-girlfriend.
It was not, that wasn't planned. That'd be sick if that was planned.
But it happened?
Yeah.
I finally treated him the way that he was treating me, and he didn't like it. Like the one time I decided to be savage like him, and it ended with me being homeless.
Okay. So, and that's something everybody knows.
I hope so.
I mean, they have a million videos about it.
I got an idea. I'm gonna steal you from Jake.
Oh.
I
just always assumed it was a joke, because like what brother would fuck their brother's ex? That doesn't even make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Like, stole my brother's girl. And you're gonna be my thumbnail!
Is that something I shouldn't bring up? Like, what was his reaction to that?
Oh.
Not good.
No.
Not good.
No, he was... Yeah. I don't know if that is something you should bring up. But that is a very... Yeah.
How is this not more talked about? I'm so confused. How... Was this a thing?
I've lost complete track of like what is public and what isn't. It's mainly why I don't talk about things. Yeah. Because I don't know what people know and what people don't know anymore. So I'm pretty sure it's public knowledge.
From your brother now, from your brother now. And he's a better kisser now, better kisser now.
Oh, did you hear that? She said he was your better kisser now.
But with anything on the internet, a couple weeks later, it's no one gives a fuck anymore.
But like in real life.
In real life, yeah.
Like for Jake, that's like, I feel like I have to talk to him about that. Like, how did you deal with that emotionally, mentally?
Well, what does that say about his relationship with his brother?
Yeah, that's interesting too.
The funny thing about this is that this, like, we're not using the condoms in the scene.
What
He
is
does
that?
a whole thing too, like in his Draw My Life, like our parents made us really competitive, and like then he does that. It's like,
Did you want to make a baby? What?
Stop!
Yo, chill. Hey, whoa! You need to calm down. Then I'm gonna cut the camera and we'll see what happens.
they don't know. Does he not know where the line is as far as like?
You should pierce your nipples, right?
Like yours?
No one knows that.
Oh, well, my whole vlog does now.
You know, one-upping him. I mean, what's that about?
It got, for me, scary at one point because they kept one-upping each other.
Now she in the low gang and you know she on my team.
And I was just like, when is this gonna stop? There was a moment there when I was like, what is going on right now? Like, I was worried that they were just gonna destroy each other.
If you think something's gonna happen, predict it before it happens, because then it makes them look dumb when it happens.
Look like dumb?
What? Did I say something?
Makes them look up and down.
Dang it, I dropped out of high school, I don't know.
What I think I'm most nervous about is sitting down with him and like having him be 100% honest and like not bullshit with me.
See, that's going to be interesting because he's open with the people that he's close to, but I've not seen him let in a stranger ever in my life. So if he opens up to you, that'll be interesting.
Is there things I should not say or things I should, you know?
I think if you're going to do it, it should be just you and him. He shouldn't be influenced or be worried about anyone else listening, because then he's not going to be 100% himself.
Right.
If it's just you two and you're like how you always are, you're very open and honest and you make people feel comfortable, he'll probably, hopefully open up to you and just explain his feelings and how he's feeling. Like, being upset about something is not showing weakness. You're a human being, you should show that. I think that might be the mistake where people are calling him a sociopath, because he likes to hide his feelings because that might show weakness. I don't think he's not able to feel. But who knows? I'm so interested to watch this and just see what you do with him, like what you talk about and what he says, and if he'll talk to me again.
His girlfriend Erica.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Erica's probably one of the best things that's, in my opinion, happened to Jake. Like, that's not one of those fake, there's not... I just like them together. I think they both have the same work ethic. They both work around the clock, and Erica will tell Jake how it is, which I don't think he's had that from girls before.
You're the boy and I'm the girl. Carry me.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. If she's not happy with him, she'll let him know.
Yes, we are fighting. Multiple reasons.
Like, is she kind of like, dude, you fucked up? Or like, dude, shut up? Like, is she kind of like real with him in that way?
Yeah.
I got your shoe. Here.
Thank you. You're a dick.
So I think them being together is a good thing.
Seriously? She fucking locked me out. Damn. Interesting. Why can't you just love me?
Jake.
Love me.
They're gonna think we just like tried to make him sound great. I feel like that's all they're gonna think about.
I mean, because I definitely want to grill him on everything, but like, what's left?
Because there's also clips, like there's a whole compilation like of, you know, Jake Paul like bullying Tessa Brooks and Jake Paul bullying the Martinez, and I guess half of it falls under pranks, which they might know about, but then there's other ones where he's like calling Tessa's laugh like, oh, you sound like a walrus.
I thought that was... Tessa, are you good? Because you laugh like a walrus all the time. It's annoying.
So like a lot of these like one-off comments that are just like shitty things that if I heard someone say that, I would be like, oh, that's a pretty shitty person. Like maybe they're not the worst, but like, oh, they're definitely shitty. And all the Alyssa stuff too, if half of what she said was true, it's like, it's a shitty person.
I'm being serious, don't! Jack!
I mean, that's what it might boil down to, is he might just kind of be a shitty person.
You just want me to look bad on camera? Is that what you want?
But I have hope. Should I not have hope? Am I going into this too hopeful?
No, I have hope. So, I don't think it's a bad thing to have hope. I think we might just be disappointed.
A lot of people think, Shane, you should not be doing this because you shouldn't be giving Jake Paul a platform. This is wrong. I see why they think that. Do you think that? Do you think this might be a bad idea?
No, because I think it's important for people to understand the why to the what, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, Jake Paul did this and he did this. No one's ever stopped and said, oh, I wonder why he jumped on a news van. Or I wonder why this or that, or why he set the pool on fire. But this doesn't work if he's not honest. Like, if he sits there and he has a rehearsed thing and he's just doing this to try and save himself, then that's fucked up. If he's gonna do this and he's gonna be real, then I think people should give him the chance. For me, if I was in his position, I went to bed at night and I knew a lot of the world just thought I was an evil prick, I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Hey Shane, so I just saw your text and I think it would be good for me to kind of just tell my side of the story. I've been through a lot and everyone's kind of been like slut-shaming me and calling me a whore and calling me all these names, but they have no idea like what really went on back then. I'm super, super scared and I've always been scared, but if you think I should, then frick it. Let's do it, man.
So it's 4 a.m.
Literally.
And we are trying to come up with a plan because if I bring Katie, the therapist, with us and she's there the whole time, I don't think he's going to be like himself. I don't think he's going to be comfortable. I think he's going to be kind of fake. So I came up with a plan. And it sounds really shady. And I've never done anything like this before. The plan is I'm going to have Katie, the therapist, pretend to be our producer. And she's going to be with us the whole day, watching, listening, analyzing Jake's body language, seeing what he's like when the camera turns off. And then throughout the day, she's gonna kind of take me in another room. So Jake will have no idea. And then we'll go into the other room and I'll just be like, how's it going? What do you think? Well, first of all, let me say this. Jake specifically has told me over and over and over again, like literally whatever you want to do, Shane, like I trust you. I just want this whole thing to be real. So I feel like he would be okay, right? I'm gonna tell him afterward. And if he's not comfortable with it, I won't upload it. So, ooh, I feel dirty. I feel like this is like, I've never done anything like this before. Like a secret, because the whole time he's gonna think like, oh, house tour, like, oh, this is fun, like, oh, we're just doing a house tour. Cut to like a therapist like watching him and me like,
oh my gosh, this is definitely like new territory for us. Like, do you want me to just record as much as I can, or like what? We're gonna like sneak off into a room with her.
Oh, I just got like, I just got like sick. You mean like, okay.
I mean, so at the end of the day, right, they're gonna be aware of the fact that if the camera's rolling, anything that they let slip is gonna come back and bite them in the ass.
If there's a camera, you know, in his face and we're talking, he still won't be able to turn off. He'll be a real person, like maybe he'll still, I don't know, just be too aware of it. Like, what do you think I should do? Should I?
Well, I'm not suggesting putting a secret camera. If that's what you're trying to get on me just then.
Oh no.
But I mean, I can, you know, I mean,
Listen,
I mean, like,
I'm not telling you
this
to not
like that.
I'm not telling you to secretly record him. But what I'm telling you is, it was a camera error and it just kept recording. We didn't even know, Jake. Like, we look back at the footage and we're like, oh my god, we were recording the whole time? No, that's fucked up. We can't do that. That would actually be wrong. We literally can't do that.
Yeah. Practice. I'm pretty good at doing that. I've done that to you a couple times.
So it'll be like this. Okay. Oh my god, Jake, haha, nice G-Wagon, haha. Okay, yeah, we'll cut for a second while we, yeah, let's cut for a second.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh.
So Jake, your whole relationship with Erica, it's fake, right? Yeah, it's fake. Yeah. That's crazy. You killed somebody before? Do people know that? Oh my god. The camera? Oh no, that's not.
Jesus.
We can't do that.
If his dad's there and we're doing that, what if we do that and then the dad's like, hey you.
Oh my god.
What if Logan and the dad are there?
Yeah. Wait, why? What are you gonna do?
You trust me?
Do you trust me?
I trust you, Shane.
We trust each other.
That's why I'm not, like, I have to trust you, you know? Because you're just filming everything. Everything.
So with that being said, fuck VidCon! Fuck anyone who created VidCon! I think all of the rebelled people and all of the unwanted people should host a little meet and greet in Anaheim, California on the same days as VidCon. I'd love to do it. To have Shane and his friends supporting my convention is literally the most jaw-dropping, tear-jerking, emotional thing to have ever happened to me. Like, I literally every single day, once a day, get brought to tears at the fact that Shane loves me and supports me.
We're never getting in because there's no way to fucking get in.
Then she needs to give everybody their money.
Yeah!
This shit show couldn't get any worse.
Are you guys having fun today?
Is that bright enough?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot going on right now. I am about to go interview Tana Mojo, about a lot of things. But we've been filming all day today because a bunch of stuff happened that I'm gonna get to. I literally don't even know where to start. I'll start with TanaCon. So TanaCon was supposed to be Tana's version of VidCon. It's a convention where you can meet your favorite YouTuber. It's inclusive and anybody can come, and it was being marketed as like a free version of VidCon.
If you guys want to leave me suggestions of places in Anaheim to throw a free meet and greet at VidCon this year, let me know, because I'm gonna find a place and I'm gonna do it.
And this all started because Tana made a video about VidCon where she was saying, oh, they treated her poorly.
Not only did VidCon decide last minute not to make me a featured creator, but they decided it would be better if they banned me from their event for life.
And they were, you know, doing a lot of shady things to YouTubers.
But every year you guys do everything in your power to make it hell for me, but only after I promote the shit out of your event, and don't you think that's fucked up?
She wanted to create her version of VidCon, but better.
I would love to make this shit bigger, better, and freer than VidCon.
And then when that video went out, a lot of YouTubers started tweeting about it and kind of like siding with her. Like a lot of YouTubers were like, yeah, we agree, Team Tana.
And reportedly, there are already 80 confirmed creators to attend. You have Miranda Sings, Ricky Dillon, Casey Neistat, Bella Thorne.
It was pretty crazy because Tana's one of those people where she's very polarizing. A lot of people don't like her. A lot of people think she's a mess, like they don't trust her. They think she's lying a lot. But for some reason, this specific thing, everybody was like, I'm on Team Tana.
Personally, I hope it does well because the success of others and people being more independent in this community leads to more success for others being independent in this community.
So then TanaCon became a reality. She was planning a convention the same weekend as VidCon.
It starts tomorrow at the same time VidCon is happening.
Right down the street from VidCon. Literally within walking distance. And this convention she was saying was gonna be free or have really cheap VIP tickets.
And I would love to meet you guys for free and cause the ruckus for free.
And all your favorite creators were gonna be there. Now she texted me and she was like, hey, I totally understand if you don't want to come, but like it would mean the world to me if you did. And I said yes. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I was literally at the first VidCon back in 2009 or 2010.
Hey, Shira Lazar coming to you backstage at VidCon with Shane Dawson. How was it? Because this is the first ever VidCon conference of its kind.
When it was just 1,000 people, and it was a few YouTubers, and it was really small, and I was there in my fucking ugly vest and straightened hair.
So awesome, Shane Dawson's here. Can you sign my book, please?
Of course, yeah. And I did that because the Green Brothers, you know, asked me to do it, and they wanted me to support them, and I did. So that's why I decided to go to TanaCon, because I wanted to support Tana. She was trying something new, and I was like, you know what? I hate conventions. I haven't been to VidCon forever. I fucking hate this shit, but let's do it. So I didn't really do much research on anything. I didn't really know anything going into it, except for the fact that, like, my face was on the list of people next to Bella Thorne. I don't know. And I was gonna do a meet and greet. I was like, all right, sounds good. Like, this wasn't my convention, okay? I wasn't a part of the planning. I wasn't a part of anything except for the fact that I was like, sure, I'll come. Which now, in retrospect, is the worst decision I think I've ever made.
She created her own event called TanaCon, and it got shut down today.
Not only was TanaCon a failure, but it was a safety hazard.
In here, I need everybody to move and clear this out because we have the paramedics coming in.
Everyone is in this hot parking lot with no bathrooms, no water, no food.
I know you've been standing in the hot sun. I know you need water. I know you guys need food.
It caused riots.
Why are we causing a riot?
Please do not steal the badges.
It caused so many thousands of people to get sunburns, like third-degree burns on their bodies.
We were in line for almost 5 hours.
As you can see, I am burnt. Actually, this hurts.
People were passing out. Nobody was even getting into the convention center. The convention center wasn't even a convention center. It was a hotel lobby the size of a Chipotle, and they were acting like they could fit 5,000 people in there, which is crazy.
Check-in line. This is crazy.
We were there too.
What? So you end up right here, but you start way back here.
And then of course it was canceled.
Okay, what's happening?
I don't know. They canceled it because there's way too many people.
There was a lot of drama involving that. I mean, you had James Charles going on a Twitter rant. I was with him when he was ranting, and I mean, I know he was getting a lot of shit for it, but I agreed with everything he was saying. This was a mess. It was a mess. Tana wasn't taking accountability. She wasn't returning anybody's phone calls or texts. Her team was being confused and like not helping either. Everything about this was Titanic. Like, everything.
Women and children first.
All right, boys, like the captain said, nice and cheery, so there's no panic. Wedding dance.
Everybody needs to follow the leader.
Now, it got canceled, thank God. Nobody got seriously hurt. But now we're left in a place where I don't know if anybody's getting refunds. I haven't been able to really talk to anybody. But even more confusing, I've been hearing some crazy theories that maybe all of this was planned to fail. It sounds crazy, but why else would they have a hotel lobby where it says on the website it fits 1,000 people? Why would they sell 5,000 tickets? Also, in all the videos at TanaCon, everybody purchased tickets, everybody.
Featured fucking creator badge. I have not seen a single other badge. You guys seen any people that claim they got free passes or anything? No.
She said that there were separate lines for VIP and regular, but whenever line, there was no difference.
Nobody saw anybody with a free ticket, which is the whole thing. Oh, Tana's giving out free tickets.
And I would love to meet you guys for free and cause the ruckus for free.
Where are they? And then the big story was, oh, 20,000 people showed up. And that's why it was canceled, because 20,000 fucking crazy teenagers showed up and ruined everything for everybody.
And well, she expected about 5,000 people to show up. 20,000 people showed up.
I didn't expect 15,000 people to show up.
then you look at the actual footage and it does not look like 20,000 people. And everybody that's been there that I've talked to said no, maybe a few thousand, not 20. So then you start to think, okay, what if this whole thing was bullshit? There was no free tickets. What if everybody paid $65 for a ticket?
And freer than VidCon.
And what if 1,000 of them were inside? And then the other 4,000 that paid to be there were outside waiting to get in. But there was literally no room inside. So it wasn't a riot, it wasn't like a bunch of crazy people saying fuck VidCon. It was kids who paid money to be there, standing out in the sun, burning their asses off. Now the reason this makes sense to me is because, number one, who the fuck is Good Times Touring Company? Who is that? I've never heard what they are. Are they even real? Number two, look at this picture, okay? This is a picture of a group of 20,000 people. This is what it looks like. All right, now this is the supposed 20,000 people that were outside of TanaCon. That's not the same. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, Shane, shut up. Why do you care so much? Who cares? It's not your convention. Nobody blames you. Like, get over it, move on. I've heard that from a lot of people on the internet in my life. People are just like, you stop giving so much of a fuck about this. The reason I do, is because I went into this thinking, oh, this is TanaCon. You know, it's gonna be all Tana's fans, and maybe I'll be walking around and it's like, oh, there's the grandpa of YouTube. Oh, that's Shane. Oh, that old guy who does conspiracies. Cool. But like, we're here for Tana. Why would anybody who watches Tana give a fuck about me? I don't know. But when I saw all the footage and I saw all the kids making videos that were there, so many of them said they went there specifically to see me.
This is some great content right here, bro. This is ShaneCon now.
I mean, there was kids who flew there to see me.
As soon as he announced that he was going, I bought a ticket, and then I was like, oh, now I need a flight, I need a hotel and stuff. Can I afford all of this? No. But I did.
Really cool, you know, like Shane Dawson doesn't really go out to conventions. I spent $2 to fly from Hawaii.
I don't even know if I'll get to meet Shane tomorrow. I paid $1,000 just to be here with my plane ticket and with the hotel.
There were so many people walking around in my picture and in my and with the Illuminati pop sockets, and I think that's when it really hit really close to home. This isn't TanaCon, this is like all of us con. All of these kids were fucked over, and I'm a part of that. You know, my face was on the fucking website. I told people come see me, and they got nothing. They literally got fucked.
And I'm gonna say this right now: the main reason why I bought the TanaCon tickets and like begged to go, and like my mom got this for me for my birthday, was because of Shane. Because I've been watching him for 10 years, like since I was like literally 12. And
it's been like eating at me. I have been not sleeping. I even was up at like 5 a.m. doing an Instagram live just talking about it because I needed to talk about it, and everybody around me was sick of hearing about it. And I'm sick of just people being like, I'll make it better. Like, will you? And I think the main reason I want to really figure this shit out is because I'm mad. I'm mad that all of these people that paid money were lied to, but more importantly, they were disappointed, and they thought they were gonna have a really fun, awesome time. Tana made this whole video about, oh, this is gonna be better than VidCon, it's gonna be so much fun, this is for you guys, and like, it was fucking worse than VidCon. It was awful.
This is insane.
If I was Tana, I would be to the point where I wanted to literally move out of the country. That's another thing too. I want to talk to Tana and be like, what the fuck were you thinking? Was this your fault? Whose fault was this? And why haven't you figured out a way to fix it? Because there's only so much tweets can actually do, and somebody needs to pay for it. So
I guess the last thing I want to leave you guys with is a question.
I mean, I think a big part of it too is going to be like the constant weirdness of that guy on the Segway.
Sorry, I was recording.
But the guy, Michael, the guy who was the CEO of whatever Good Times is, I don't even know if that's a real thing. is it a company? But in all the footage that people have of TanaCon, like all the crazy chaos, the riots, whatever, you just see this guy with like bleach blonde hair and like a Gucci necklace, scarf thing, and he's just like segueing around the convention. Like, like it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Do you think he would let us interview him?
Man, that would be crazy. What's
I mean, he literally, I texted him, I was like, hey, I need to talk to somebody about literally something. And he said, I'm so sad, I invested every penny in this to make this work. I'm gonna lose my house over this. Now I'm thinking like, everybody's blaming him and saying that TanaCon was a nightmare because the people who organized it were scamming everybody. But were they, or was it Tana? Did Tana know? Like, I wanna interview both of them.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. That's crazy.
Right? Like, at the same time.
I didn't even think about that. Oh my god. You're gonna have a...
Because it's not even about like exposing and like drama and tea. It's literally not tea. It's like there's some fucked up shit going on and I want to know what it is, and I'm sick of seeing like public statements about it from like people's Twitters. I want to like hear what the fuck happened. And they're just gonna wait for it to go away. I know that. What company is owned by a 20-year-old guy on a Segway? Like, what is that?
I'll take 3 questions.
3.
Anyways, more importantly, I want to hear from the people that were there. I've already talked to one girl, Caitlin. I saw a video she posted where she was showing her sunburns. She was talking about like how she flew out to meet specifically me and you guys, my friends. So I met up with everybody. TanaCon, you didn't know? Or did you not get the email?
I didn't bring enough food for everyone. I'm sorry. They already experienced that. I swear, we're like... I'm sorry, I'm just like losing
as dirty as you imagine.
No. Oh my god. Also, you're so much skinnier in person. Like, I'm...
Welcome to TanaCon.
I meant to say that. Oh my god, that's the window.
That's the window. Yes, that's the window. That's the floor.
Oh my god,
that's the dog hair. That's right there. It's right there. You want a picture about? You want a selfie about the dog hair?
I do have dog hair. Oh my god, it's so iconic. Oh my god.
Wait, what's iconic?
It's like Morgan just sitting there eating, and then Cheetah was just like.
Morgan, something's so iconic. That's my old conspiracy couch.
Ooh.
It smells in here because that's my pooping bathroom. Let's go out.
Chill. Where was the demon room?
The whole house. That's the Gucci bag. I hide it in the closet because once again I'm humble.
I feel that. Can't relate. Can't relate.
I just realized that
No, go for it. Oh, sunburn too. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
No, go ahead. It's totally fine.
Oh my god.
Yeah. She might have some too. I don't know.
I mean,
oh my god.
A lot of people were like kind of covering me though, so I wasn't as bad as her. But
people were covering.
Yeah.
Just save her. People were like, she's younger than us.
Oh my god, it's like the war.
It was.
Wait, you're really burnt.
I mean, it was just kind of like, I mean, she was already like dehydrated at that point. I mean, granted, we should have showed up with water and stuff, but we kind of just like...
Should you have though?
No. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Like, I remember there was this one mom walking around, it got so bad to where like some lady was waiting for 8 hours. She was just like, my daughter's been sitting here for hours, and I think they came from Canada or something, and they were just saying like, and the thing is though, like, we felt so bad the whole time knowing that like, we didn't want you guys to think it was on you. We didn't like, and you have no reason to think that, but for the longest time we were just thinking, you know, we can't even imagine what Shane must be thinking right now. Like, cause honestly, like, I know you said in your video, like, it wasn't TanaCon. We don't want to call it TanaCon. We came for you. Like, so many people came for you. And we were holding on to hope, and we knew as soon as like, I want to say like an hour, and we just knew it wasn't gonna happen. But I mean, we're trying to hold out, you know. It was one of those things, and we don't want you to be upset. We're here for everybody that was supposed to meet you.
Oh my god.
It's okay. It's okay.
I wasn't trying to cry or anything. I just don't. I'm like so fucked up over this. I know it seems like, maybe it seems fake or something. I literally haven't slept in so long. I feel so awful. I like thinking about people out in the sun for that long, and like kids, and there's no water, and then you guys are just like thinking like, oh well, at least we're gonna meet some of our favorite YouTubers. At least that's gonna happen, and then that fucking doesn't happen, and you leave burnt. And then here I am, like...
There was nothing you guys could have done. I mean, we were, you know, of course at the time we were like, you know, this is so fucked up. Why didn't Hannah do something sooner? But it's like, she didn't know anything that was going on. We were fortunate enough after about 5 hours, we made it inside.
You were inside?
We were inside. We got inside.
Yeah.
So
the people behind us.
But the thing is, I can tell you right now, I can verify everything that you said in your video. There was no security, nothing in terms of a bag check. When they would cancel the event, we thought a shooting was going on because we knew that they didn't check our bags.
We're doing our best though to make sure that every single person being let inside was going through a double, triple security pass.
It felt like we were in a conspiracy the entire time. I knew there were not 15,000 additional people there. There was not a chance. We were in the building, we circled around the building, we saw the group that was trying to come in. Those were people that were waiting in line. Those were all the rest of like the 5,000 people that never got in.
We had all 5,000 people inside of TanaCon today.
Wow.
They were not 15,000 people.
Yes. 15,000 people. Please imagine like the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what to say. Like,
was there a thing where you guys genuinely thought there was like a shooting?
I'm dead serious.
Right when we went to the front to get water because I was like about to like faint, I literally thought there was like a shooting.
No, they're just over capacity. What the fuck is going on?
The craziest part is the Christina Grimmie thing was like a meet and greet of 30 people. Like, if this truly was even 5,000 people,
absolutely.
I can't believe something didn't happen.
I agree.
The girl I talked to said people were walking with duffel bags and big backpacks and nobody was checking them.
They were. And I mentioned to Andrew, you know, that we originally purchased 2 VIP tickets, I want to say like a week or 2 after TanaCon was announced. Those tickets, we never got confirmation on. We were charged it. I still have like the receipts. I emailed the lady. She said, oh, I'm sorry, what was the name of reserve vendor? And it was completely lost to registration. And
oh my God,
yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
it was just a nightmare. I told the girl, I was like, who is running this? And I said, I know it's not that kid that was just on the Segway going around. Like, so who is in charge of this? And she's like, honestly, I don't even really know. I'm just like here working this part. You can ask inside. I was like,
I don't even. That's what I want to figure out too. Is who the fuck was in charge of this?
I still don't know.
Because it wasn't Tana,
no,
obviously.
Absolutely.
TanaCon would not be TanaCon if it wasn't for each and every fucking one of you.
Was it the guy on the Segway? It couldn't have been.
I find it hard to believe that because, I mean, this guy's a year older than me, and I mean, I'm not saying I'm high and mighty, but I can't run a convention.
Yeah.
Tana said herself, like, she can't run it herself.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, too, I don't have it saved anymore, but as soon as I try to go back and find those tickets, I had the tab saved, and I refreshed the page, and it literally said, page not found. It said, like, organization or page linked to scams. Like, that's exactly what it said. I'm not even joking. I'm not exaggerating that. I'm being dead serious. I don't have it anymore. It was on my laptop. But it literally said, linked to scam, please revert or over or something. Like, it literally said that. You know, we were under the impression that we were going to be invited to, like, all meetups. Like, we get fast pass for 1, but you can go to as many as you want. In the fine print, it said you're not even guaranteed the 1.
They said fast passes to meet and greet. Yeah. Not just one meet and greet.
And also, how does a fast pass work if 5,000 people have them?
Like, it's bad because they kind of scammed us.
Like, I don't understand what that means. Like,
Tana was told that it could fit 5,000 people. Do you think?
Not a chance. Not a chance. There was, I want to say 200 people where we were. And that was the biggest part of the lobby.
Whoa. But what can I do, what can Tana do to make this up?
I'm gonna be real with you. There's nothing that's gonna make everybody happy.
Yeah.
The suggestion that you put out, I think, are the best solution in terms of like making a meetup for those that are local. Clearly, you know, we're speaking on people who aren't local. Some people, we read the comments, she had said, one girl said, come to Egypt. I thought, that is not realistic. I mean, it's horrible, but it's just not realistic. Even just making a video like you are and making these like live streams and making announcements, just you acknowledging the situation was already such a light years ahead of what we
because the whole day after like the first day of TanaCon was like happening, she didn't say one word like on Twitter. And then when you said something, it meant a lot because like no one else was acknowledging the problem except for you.
Questions are just completely being ignored. Everybody's confused, disappointed.
Wait, so you guys, did you guys RSVP for my meetup?
Yeah, we RSVP'd and got to the registration.
Wait, come over here. They sent me a list of the RSVP list, and it looked shady to me. It was like, it was only 394
There's no way.
people.
Not a chance. There's no way.
What are your names again?
Lauren and Lindsay Gavornik. Gavornik.
Did you guys get like the VIP stuff?
Yep, we have the passes and everything.
No, I have my bag.
Oh, do you? I left mine at home.
I just kept anything really.
I mean, it was...
This is like...
I mean, the thing is, at that point, we were just like, you know what? It's something. Yeah. It was kind of like, we reached a point of like, you know what? At least we can say we were here.
This literally is, like, this is what they give you at the hospital. Like, to put your, like, shoes in. Feel it. It literally is like, that's not even material. It's like plastic. Let's do an unboxing.
Oh wow, you actually got more than I did.
So
I just grabbed them.
Yikes.
I mean, that was... Wow. I just want to do some math really quick. So apparently this is 3 times our ticket price. So this must be an expensive ass condom, which I mean, this Gucci princess, like... okay, this must have been from the Gucci store because Tana would never. Tana would never.
What are these stickers?
I mean, I don't even, you know.
Like that looks like something from the dollar store.
A Dawson buy.
No tea, but
all the tea. Like
Gucci princess.
I mean,
that's so ironic.
I know.
It's like you guys are all standing out in the heat.
I looked at it, I was like, thank God I'm a Gucci princess. You know, might be dehydrated, might not have eaten in 6 hours, but you know what? I'm still queen, it's fine.
Oh fuck. Oh my God, I hope you tweeted that. This condom, I heard that it was like,
I mean, like,
really cheap too.
It's like, Trojan would never. I mean, I can't.
Oh my God.
Do you think anybody used that and got bricked? Sorry.
I mean, thank God they gave you guys condoms because you guys all got fucked.
I mean,
cheesy.
But it's the truth. Everybody was without water. There were a few people who actually got 1 bottle of water.
Yeah, they're all sharing.
And it was literally that scene from Victorious where they all took 1 cap full. It was, I'm not even exaggerating.
Tana is gonna go and pretend that she cares about people right now by giving water to the people who couldn't get in because this whole event is canceled for the day.
There were people literally clapping because there was 1 person handing out bottles of water within like every like 100 increments. It's so hard to like think that other people could put other people through that. If this was truly planned to make it as chaotic as it was, and I hate to think that, to just, you know, get their name out there, get their crowd out there, any publicity is publicity for them, unfortunately. And that's the first thing that came to mind. It's like, even if it's a bad reputation, it gets their name out there.
You really think that whole thing, this whole TanaCon thing could have just been like, I didn't even think about that. You think it could have been set up to fail so that it would be like a Twitter moment?
I think so, absolutely. A company is not going to care about 1 single YouTuber, unfortunately, and Tana was the face of this. Tana was the one that took the fall initially, if you think about it. They didn't come for the organization first, they came for Tana first. Tana's not the person to blame here, it's the company, and that's when people, I think, started questioning it. They're not gonna care about 1 YouTuber if it means that they get their name out there in this type of way.
Using a company by the name of Good Times.
Fire marshal. I don't blame Tana for this. I absolutely blame Good Times. I blame Good Times.
Whoa. So do you think that there was no free tickets? Do you think that was a scam?
I think so. The whole thing was just about money. It's the saddest thing because it's so many people came there with hopes of meeting just their favorite creators and just being there for Tana, being supporters, doing what they did.
That's the whole motto, to meet your favorite
that was the whole
fucking creators.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
And you're loved here, and you're a featured fucking creator here, okay? Now, I love you guys. I hope you have a lit-ass weekend at TanaCon. You're not gonna get kicked out of here unless you do some stupid-ass shit.
So are you shutting down the whole event, or are you shutting out who's here?
I think we're shutting down the whole event.
Now I have to interview that guy.
Which guy is that?
The CEO of Good Times, Michael Weiss.
What would you say to him if you could say something?
I would say, were we as fans and the creators, were our safety and well-being considered first? Was that the #1 priority? Because if it was, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah. So as I was talking to the girls who came over, I got a phone call from Tana, and I went to the other room, and she was just freaking out. Andrew came over when I was talking, and we started recording the phone call.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to hold out.
She didn't know we were filming, and here's that.
I realize this is wrong, and like, yes, it doesn't matter my intentions. Like, people have to get respected, things have to be right. Michael can't keep doing this to people, Chris can't keep doing this to people, like, just everything. Like, I get it. I understand where you're coming from to the fullest extent.
I think, you know, after talking to these kids, it's like they just want to hear us talk about it. They want to hear you talk about it. Even if you don't know everything, they just want, like, more.
I agree. And I've been really afraid for the past 2 days about saying anything negative about Michael or Good Times, because it's like, no matter how dirty he did me, like, it's my fault. Like, I agreed. I should have listened to people who told me not to work with him. I should have done better research. Like, you know, I just don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, do I talk about the fact that I was lied to about, like, venue and capacity sizes? Do I talk about the fact Michael literally got people from Anaheim, like, Marriott to lie to me about that? Do I say those things, or do I just take full blame?
I think we say everything. I want to interview Michael, too.
No, he flew home right after and, like, left all of us here without transportation back to LA and, like, all the, like, people and, like, all that kind of stuff. Like, I want to go back and pay talent for their time. Like, I feel so bad for Gabby's show. She's so upset. I don't even know what to say.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Anaheim.
Well, I think we have to do this tonight. I think we have to get this out as soon as possible.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I'm, like, terrified. Like, I feel like I just don't have the answers that everyone wants. I only can say what Michael told me, and that I went and did my best to, like, research. Like, I sat through the meetings. He had people tell me everything. You know what I mean? Like, and I believed him.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked up. It's fucked up that my fucking fans had to go through anything like this. Like, it's so fucked up.
So Michael's not around.
And I don't know what to do to make it right, but obviously, like, with any of your help, I trust you.
Yeah.
Can I ask you an honest question?
Yeah.
You think that this should be my response, like your video?
Yes.
Okay, I agree, because, like, that's what I'm so afraid of, is I think with other things in the past, I go very, like, impulsive and just say everything, and, like, I don't want people to be like, you don't know what you're saying, you're lying, whatever. I want to, like, just be able to talk and, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think people trust me enough, and they know that I'm not gonna let you bullshit, and I'm not gonna bullshit. So.
What do I have to do to fix it though with the people that bought tickets? Like, what? I'm just terrified of letting the people who love me the most down, and I did, and I don't know how to come back from it. And I'm terrified.
Well, we're gonna do it. I got you.
I love you, Shane.
I love you.
I don't know why you even have it in your heart to give me a chance and a platform to talk and try to make things better. Like, you are the best person I will ever know, and thank you.
Of course, I love you. Keep me posted, okay? Please keep me posted.
Okay, I will.
Okay, I love you. Bye. He left town?
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, where did he go? Where does he live?
Let me text that guy. What the fuck?
That sounds like Bernie Madoff.
Bernard Madoff has just been sentenced for the biggest investment fraud in Wall Street history.
Okay, I just texted him and said I'm doing a video about all of this, and I want to interview all sides and make sure it's balanced and not bullshit. Are you around to do for an interview?
Michael?
I mean, even if it's just like
a phone call or something.
Oh my god.
What?
I just got a text. Oh my god.
There are thousands of people crying in their hotel rooms and she's just fine in her Gucci boots out party. Like, why do people look up to that? That sounds really mean, but like...
There's so much more wrong than the people outside, and that's the first problem, that you think that that's the only thing wrong. I love you. Down is so heartbreaking.
Well, this is taking quite the turn. Oh my god.
How are you